He felt space was missing. Yimo knew this was the nine-headed void-devouring bug's gift, devouring space. If it was nine-headed, Yimo would run as far away as possible, but he wasn't scared of a mere three-head. He felt space was missing. Yimo knew this was the nine-headed void-devouring bug's gift, devouring space. If it was nine-headed, Yimo would run as far away as possible, but he wasn't scared of a mere three-head. When he expanded his domain, he also let out the defensive power of God state around him. Crack! The three mouths bit onto Yimo's domain at the same time. However, this time, space wasn't devoured, it just rattled. This was just his natural ability. It didn't mean he was more powerful than beings who could tear open dimensions. Facing against Yimo's powerful domain, it was immediately limited. Before Hong Yixing could be shocked with Yimo's domain, he stared at Shadowless in shock. Shadowless bug, more than half of his grey mist had been devoured. Shadowless was like a mist-sucking machine. But at this moment, Shadowless stopped and screamed. There was an intense desire to devour from Shadowless. It dashed to Yimo and stared at the nine-headed void-devouring bug that was countless times bigger than him. It seemed very funny that a pea-sized thing stared at something 10,000 times bigger than it and wanted to devour it. But this wasn't funny at all. Void-devouring bug already saw Shadowless and released the space he couldn't devour. He started to retreat and there was fear in his eyes. The nine-headed void-devouring bug was fearful. Shadowless hadn't grown, but so wasn't he. It could devour space, but Shadowless could devour it. Even if it devoured Shadowless first, Shadowless could devour it from the inside. Seeing Shadowless about to devour the nine-headed void-devouring bug, Yimo felt disgusted and quickly called go back to devouring the grey mist. If you eat that disgusting thing, you don't need to stay with me anymore. He had never seen something more disgusting than the nine-headed void-devouring bug, and yet Shadowless wanted to devour the nine-headed void-devouring bug. Boxno vel coem, there was a sliver of dissatisfaction in Shadowless' eyes and it didn't want to retreat. Seeing this, Yimo expanded his domain and Zishu brought a vibrant purple ray hacking at nine-headed void-devouring bug. Instead of letting Shadowless eat this bug, he might as well kill it. Although the nine-headed void-devouring bug had 3 heads, it was countless times weaker than nine-headed. Crack! The nine-headed void-devouring bug reacted a little slow and one of its head was sliced off. Before it could leave, Yimo burned with fire. The head instantly turned to dust and so did the essence spirit on its head. The nine-headed void-devouring bug screamed and spat a grey blood mist. 9-9. Hong Yixing saw this and called out in shock. He was immediately going to bring nine-headed void-devouring bug back. The nine-headed void-devouring bug had his essence spirit shards. Even he felt dizzy after Yimo destroyed a head. Mist Lotus Heartfire. Hong Yixing looked hatefully at Yimo and said word by word, so you stole the Mist Lotus Heartfire I left at Longgrave Hill. I said I'm going to eat you. Yimo stopped him in contempt. Hong, stop bluffing, I already cut a head off your disgusting bug. I want to see how many more heads I can cut off. By the way, the nine-headed void-devouring bug soul at South Mountain Market also belongs to you, right? I killed it too. I've cut 2 heads off your bug already. I want to see how many more I can cut. Then, Yimo yelled at Shadowless, hurry up and finish eating, stop wasting time. Hong Yixing only knew now that Yimo killed another of his essence spirit shards. He was furious and couldn't even be bothered talking this time. He slapped himself in the forehead and a crack opened up. Black rays emitted from his forehead. They were rapid like lightning and instantly covered this entire space. Yimo had seen this before. When he killed Mo Chenli, he used the evil soul strands. Hong Yixing's ones were countless times stronger than Mo Chenli. The strands seemed to have its own soul. At this moment, Shadowless finished devouring the grey mist and even ate the bead. However, it didn't charge up at the evil soul strands, it couldn't devour that yet. Those strands charged at Yimo and Shadowless. Shui Yufeng and the other cultivator saw Shadowless had finished devouring the mist. Powerful indeed. Shui Yufeng said and quietly put away the transmission rune in his hands, but as soon as he did, Hong Yixing released the evil soul strands. Evil soul strands, the two exclaimed at the same time. They had never encountered this, but they knew its power. Cultivating this needed countless tortured souls. It was an extremely hard demonic cultivation method. The higher the level, the higher the requirement on the soul was. Where could this young cultivator go now? Shui Weifeng put that transmission back in his hands quietly. Yi Mo didn't let Shadowless charge up. These old monsters who had lived for countless years were indeed powerful. Against an opponent of the same level, Yi Mo had no habit of using defensive means. He waved his hand and lightning swords were released. Rumble. Thunder cracked in the sky. Hong Yixing heard this and looked up into the distance in shock. Before he could react, countless lightning swords fell. Yi Mo's spirit sense was more powerful now and the lightning swords rained densely like rain. Countless lightning swords struck the evil soul strands. Terrified screams sounded from the evil soul strands and they twisted and contorted before turning to dust in the black lightning swords. It was this weak. Yi Mo dazed and realized his lightning sword had reached a very high level. Those evil soul strands were formed from tortured souls, they naturally feared lightning. Lightning element. Hong Yixing's face changed. He didn't expect Yi Mo was lightning spirit root and such absurd attack. For the first time, Hong Yixing felt a little cold. He had only been out for a few days and didn't encounter some Chu Xiaoyi, but he encountered a young cultivator more absurd than Chu Xiaoyi. At this moment, he wanted to leave. Staying here would only mean he would keep getting countered by Yi Mo. If he didn't leave quickly, he might even be killed. He's actually a lightning element cultivator, Shui Weifeng, and the cultivator called out in shock. How could Yi Mo let Hong Yixing run? He knew lightning sword countered the evil soul strands and released even more. With this, Hong Yixing's face looked worse. He knew that if he didn't use his trump card, he wouldn't get the chance to. He raised his hand and a half-grey dagger appeared in his hand. He sliced through the air at Yi Mo with this. With this, Yi Mo immediately knew there was a problem. It was dark grey but it had a snow-white ray though seemed to tear space open. Before it even reached Yi Mo, felt that dominant and grand killing force. With this, Yi Mo immediately knew there was a problem. It was dark grey but it had a snow-white ray though seemed to tear space open. Before it even reached Yi Mo, felt that dominant and grand killing force. This killing force was much more than his Zishu. Before the sword even arrived, his essence spirit was shaking. Yi Mo focused all of his spirit sense on releasing lightning sword at this moment and didn't even release octagonal cauldron. When he was about to release the octagonal cauldron, the sword tip had appeared before him. He even had the feeling that even octagonal cauldron wouldn't be able to stop it. Yi Mo's body went cold, he even had this feeling that he didn't want to avoid it. Yi Mo instantly knew things weren't good and bit the tip of his tongue, forcefully waking himself up. Splurge. Blood splashed out when the sword tip pierced into Yi Mo's chest. Yi Mo breathed easy. The moment the tip hit him, the dominating killing force disappeared. Yi Mo knew it wasn't that the sword tip wasn't powerful, but Hong Yixing couldn't control this sword tip. The moment Hong Yixing released this sword tip, he spat a few mouthfuls of blood. He knew the power of this sword tip too well. He couldn't control it with his current power. But if he didn't use this, he wouldn't be able to escape from Yi Mo. The instant the sword tip struck Yi Mo, Hong Yixing breathed easy. No matter what, he didn't need to run now. Being struck by the sword tip meant certain death. The sword tip broke open Yi Mo's armor. This was the first time Yi Mo received such heavy injury since reaching God state body refinement. Yi Mo grabbed the jumping sword tip and sets tens of restrictions on it before putting it in his storage ring. If Hong Yixing could still control this, he wouldn't be able to put it away. You're fine. Hong Yixing looked at Yi Mo in shock. To a truth realization state cultivator, a knife wound was nothing. He thought that this sword tip would at least tear Yi Mo's body to pieces or even bloody mist. Hong Yixing didn't dare to imagine just what degree a body was strong to when it couldn't be torn by this sword tip. Yi Mo knew his situation wasn't good. His wounds wouldn't heal after that strike and it was about to expand. He had to quickly kill Hong Yixing and find a place to recover. He burst out his cultivation essence and spirit sense like crazy as the lightning sword fell down with even more power. He also released Zishu, countless purple sword rays locked this volume of space. Yi Mo was determined to kill Hong Yixing. The evil soul strands gradually disappeared completely and there was defeat on Hong Yixing's face. If he knew this cultivator was this absurd, he would use all means to escape, but now, his cultivation essence and spirit sense was used up too much. He couldn't even break through Yi Mo's domain. After all the evil soul strands were destroyed, Yi Mo used Zishu again, illusion cloud Hua mountain strike. He would only feel assured after Hong Yixing was dead and thus didn't hold back at all. There was a sliver of despair on Hong Yixing's face. His kai suddenly rose. Yi Mo knew this guy was planning to self-destruct after seeing that he couldn't get away. B. Oxnovel. Com, splurge. The sword ray hacked Hong Yixing when he was about to self-explode. Amidst the explosion, tiny space tears appeared. The two-headed, nine-headed void-devouring bug looked sad too and was about to self-destruct. Shui Yufeng and the other cultivator quickly retreated. They looked at the center of the explosion wondering if Yi Mo could survive this. Yi Mo didn't go into the golden page world, as he used his cultivation essence. The power of the God-state body refinement was shown. Compared to Sheng Cheng's self-destruction, Hong Yixing's was nothing. Moments later, the space returned to normal. Hong Yixing and his nine-headed void-devouring bug disappeared. Yi Mo just stood in there with a little messy hair. He didn't seem injured at all. Yi Mo scanned Shui Yufeng and the other cultivator and suddenly released Blue Moon disappearing. At this moment, Yi Mo had to go find a place to heal. That sword tip gave Yi Mo a very bad feeling. The cultivator standing with Shui Yufeng was Truth Realization State Level 9. Yi Mo didn't know since when North Far State had a Truth Realization State Level 9 cultivator, but he didn't have the mood to ask. He was clearly very strong to be able to run away from Hong Yixing. Before he was recovered, he shouldn't be in contact with such people. His Shadowless was exposed. Who didn't want Shadowless? Although it could only ever have one master, but its body was full of treasure. Qian Bei, wait for me, Shui Yufeng turned without hesitation. Qian Bei, the cultivator studied Shui Yufeng and said, didn't you say you sealed Hong Yixing for countless years and this cultivator fighting old demon Hong was all an act? Why do you suddenly call him Qian Bei now? What? You're looking down on me? Shui Yufeng didn't consider this Truth Realization State Level 9 a threat at all. The cultivator smiled, of course not. I see that you possessed this body, your soul, and the body hasn't fully fused yet. That's right, little brother, keen eyes. When I was dominating the cultivation realm with Chu Xiaoyi, he said he would get me a immortal curl flower. Pity, I'm still alive but brother Xiao has died. Shui Yufeng sounded a little down. You're actually a master in the same generation as Chu Xiaoyi Qian Bei. The cultivator immediately saluted with his fists with respect. Seeing he got the respect, Shui Yufeng was satisfied and showed a plain face. That's right. Brother Xiaoyi and I sealed that Hong Yixing for 10,000 years, but he still broke the seal. If it wasn't for that brother's help. By the way, what's your name? You can escape from Hong Yixing, you're not ordinary. The cultivator said, I'm Zhuo Qingyang, I don't often come to North Far State. This time, I'm sending a disciple to Pei Hai City and thus I came here. On the way back I accidentally encountered old demon Hong. Shui Yufeng had been sealed for too long to know North Far State's cultivation level, so he nodded. Not bad, your power is quite good. Truth Realization State Level 9, you're about to ascend to Immortal Realm. Keep it up, we'll meet again in the Immortal Realm. Then where do you live? What is your disciple's power level? Plus, are you not going to teach him after sending him there? Shui Yufeng said. Zhuo Qingyang smiled because the Immortal Ascension Tunnel has opened. I'm preparing for Immortal Ascension. Although my Smoke Rain Island is very tough, it's not safe in a place like the Heartless Sea. If I Immortal Ascension and my disciple is just hollow spirit state, clearly my disciple can't stay alive properly. I'm here to find an old friend here wanting him to take care of my disciple. But that old friend had left Dangling Peak. Shui Yufeng patted his chest. Brother Zhuo, if it wasn't that I'm about to Immortal Ascension too, I would look after your disciple for sure. But don't worry, tell me your disciple's name and I'll protect him. In North Far State, other than that Hong Yixing, I'm not scared of anyone. Then he added quickly, that young guy who killed Hong Yixing is my friend. I'm definitely not going to have conflict with him. I even gave him a painting. Although he's very grateful, but I don't even sweat it. Zhuo Qingyang knew what sort of person Shui Yufeng was now, so he waved his hand. No need, we came to North Far State and found news of her father. Her father is rather famous, I'm sending her there to meet him. Then Zhuo Qingyang said, my friend Kong Yi is Chu Xiao Qian Bei's grand disciple. If you don't mind, you can come to my island for a while. We don't have anything special, but we do have a lot of herbs for nourishing soul. Shui Yufeng was just about to reject, but hearing the second half of the sentence, he quickly said, I was planning to guard North Far State, but now that Hong Yixing is dead, my mission is over. Since Brother Zhuo invites, let's go then, what are we waiting for? Blue Moon was very fast, and in a short while, he was at a barren mountain. He didn't even check where this was, and he went into the Golden Page world to recover. Blue Moon was very fast, and in a short while, he was at a barren mountain. He didn't even check where this was, and he went into the Golden Page world to recover. Despite using the 3 birth chant, the wound wasn't healing and was instead getting worse. So powerful. Yi Mo ate a few pills and said in shock. He was truth realization state and a God state body refinement. His main cultivation method was the 3 birth chant, and yet his wound couldn't heal. Yi Mo sat by the bitter bamboo eating pills, but he still felt the wound healed very slowly. It was as though if he didn't tend to it, it would worsen again. The pain from the wound was unbearable. It was as though each time it hurt, a part of his soul would be grinded away. Just what is this? Yi Mo truly realized the terror of this wound. He picked up that sword tip, but he couldn't scan his spirit sense in. Yi Mo put the sword tip down again. He had decided to heal his wound first. It was slow, but it would eventually heal. With this, Yi Mo started using the 3 birth chant to recover, but after 6 days Yi Mo found that his wound only closed a third. It was getting slower and slower as well. Yi Mo got up anxiously. He felt that even if he forcefully closed the wound, if he didn't understand the cause, this wound would still be a huge problem. Shadowless seemed to know Yi Mo was annoyed and flew to the side. When Yi Mo was near the bitter bamboo, it flew to the spirit herb garden. When Yi Mo walked over there, it flew back to the bitter bamboo. Clearly, it was scared of Yi Mo. Yi Mo didn't mind, and when he walked to the spirit herb garden, he suddenly stopped. He felt his wound seemed to be healing here. What was going on? Was there a certain place in the Golden Page world that could heal wounds? Yi Mo closed his eyes and felt that indeed the wound healed faster here. That satisfying feeling, it wasn't as simple as healing wound, but even his essence spirit and spirit sense was being nourished. He had this inexplicable sense of enlightenment. Yi Mo started to move slowly. He wanted to know which position in his Golden Page world was the best for healing. 15 minutes later, Yi Mo saw the wound that easily healed by half and exclaimed. It was here, there seemed to be a life force here that rapidly closed his wound. Just when Yi Mo was planning to heal his wounds altogether, he saw the small sapling underneath him. It was just 10 cms tall, but there was this indescribable life force emitting from it. Yi Mo felt he didn't need to do anything and his wounds were closing rapidly. Yi Mo realized that his wounds were healing because of this small sapling. It was the sapling with Chaos Kai he got from the Abyssal River. In just half an hour, his wounds completely healed and a black Kai was dispelled from the wound. Yi Mo didn't feel uncomfortable at all. Yi Mo touched the spot and it was extremely smooth. This is good. Yi Mo looked at the sapling with great bliss. Chaos items were indeed not simple. He completely forgot about it after throwing it next to the spirit herb garden. This wasn't where it should stay. There was about tens of thousands of kilometers of area in the Golden Page world. He found a special place for the sapling and moved it over. He buried 10 extreme grade spirit range below it. If it wasn't that immortal crystals were too valuable, Yi Mo even wanted to bury some there. This was only a sapling now and it was this powerful. What if it grew into a tree? But Yi Mo didn't know what this tree was. Thing had a complete guide to things, but there was no guide to this tree. Yi Mo was in a good mood. He sat down and started to study the sword tip. Yi Mo removed the restriction and the sword tip jumped around in his hands, although wanting to leave. Yi Mo tried to spirit control this sword tip but found it was very hard. His spirit sense couldn't extend into this sword tip. When Yimo forcefully sent his spirit sense into the sword tip, an ancient Kai came. Before Yimo could look at it closely, a chaotic slaughtering Kai came. The two Kai mixed together made Yimo's head ache. Especially that slaughtering Kai, it was as though this sword tip killed countless cultivators and devoured countless cultivator soul and blood. It still had a strong bloodlust and was sending murderous thoughts into Yimo's brain. Yimo quickly took back his spirit sense and forced these thoughts out. He was shook. Just what was this? Another 3 days later, Yimo finally found out how Hong Yixing controlled this sword tip. He placed a shard of his essence spirit in there. It was hard for other cultivators but very easy for Hong Yixing, who often does this. Yimo didn't use that way, he felt it wasn't safe. This sword tip was like a time bomb. Perhaps Hong Yixing's desire for slaughter was due to this sword tip. But Yimo felt it was a waste to not use such a powerful weapon. Luckily Yimo had his own way. He had purple eye soul sever. He didn't sever his essence spirit, but he placed some spirit sense on the sword tip. If necessary he could use it to attack someone like Hong Yixing, but it would be much more powerful in his hands as his spirit sense was far stronger than Hong Yixing. Yimo left the Golden Page world and realized this was Mu Mountain. When he first came to Luoyu continent he came here. Now, he had established his own city in South Peace State, been to North Far State countless times. He even went to West Extreme State twice, but only his birthplace, East Black State, he still haven't been there. Thinking about the places he had been there and his master Luo Ying and how she was his wife now, there was a grin on Yimo's mouth. Then, he thought of Jing Kuan he still hadn't killed. Perhaps I should take Susu back to East Black State. Yimo murmured. Yimo didn't leave as he saw a familiar person running over. It was Cheng Yejuan, the only pill king who was Golden Core State. His pill concoction talent was absurdly strong but his power was too weak. When he was Foundation Establishment State, Cheng Yejuan was Golden Core State. Now that he was Truth Realization State, Cheng Yejuan stayed the same. He was a good person. After the Pill Concoction Hall of Fame tournament, he even came up to him to discuss pill concoction experience. But Yimo knew that Cheng Yejuan came with the intent to teach him things. Yimo, why are you here? Cheng Yejuan then immediately said, great that you're here. What happened? Yimo asked in confusion. He didn't see anyone hunting Cheng Yejuan. I heard you went to South Peace State, or I would have went to Pei Hai to find you. Ling Zhongtian Qian Bei was found, but his Dan Tian was heavily injured, so was his soul. The Immortal Herb Valley sect leader Ming Xin and Pill Association leader Nong Jinxian and Vice Association leader Wang Tsungjian are all there, but they aren't able to save him. Cheng Yejuan said. I heard you went to South Peace State, or I would have went to Pei Hai to find you. Ling Zhongtian Qian Bei was found, but his Dan Tian was heavily injured, so was his soul. The Immortal Herb Valley sect leader Ming Xin and Pill Association leader Nong Jinxian and Vice Association leader Wang Tsungjian are all there, but they aren't able to save him. Cheng Yejuan said. Yimo dazed. Ling Zhongtian appeared. Seeing Yimo was confused, Cheng Yejuan quickly said Ling Qian Bei was saved by a Qian Bei called Meng Zhen. Even Ling Qian Bei can't see through Meng Zhen's power. But that Meng Zhen Qian Bei left after bringing Ling Qian Bei here. He said he was here to find someone. Hearing this name, Yimo soon remembered who it was. It was that cultivator who was chased by Fang Yizong. He was probably Truth Realization State Level 9. Yimo didn't expect him to chase over the Heartless Sea to North Far State. Clearly he was a warm-hearted person to send Ling Zhongtian back, but he wasn't from Luoyu continent. Who would he be looking for? What are you doing here? Yimo asked again. This place had little spirit Kai. I'm here to invite Pill Cauldron sect leader Qiao. His level 3 Pill King now. Perhaps he has a way to cure Ling Qian Bei, but that's not necessary now. Yimo, come with me. Ling Zhongtian Qian Bei is irreplaceable in North Far State. Now that 9-headed void devouring bug appeared in North Far State, we need him to gather the power of North Far State. Cheng Yejuan said genuinely. Yimo nodded. Ling Zhongtian wasn't very powerful, but he was much more charismatic than Shan Di and Tang Meng Rao. Yimo smiled. I've already killed that 9-headed void devouring bug, no need to worry. Cheng Yejuan looked dazedly at Yimo. He knew Yimo was a pill concoction prodigy but didn't know Yimo was a truth realization state cultivator. Yimo patted him. No need to be shocked, I have a way to counter it and it was through luck that I annihilated it. So that's it. Cheng Yejuan nodded dubiously. He only heard that the 9-headed void devouring bug was ravaging North Far State. He didn't know there was a Hong Yixing with it too. Cheng Yejuan added after inviting sect leader Qiao, I was going to take the teleportation formation to Pei Hai City. Yimo asked in confusion, there are so many cultivators, why are you the one running around? Cheng Yejuan knew that Yimo meant to say a golden core state was too slow, but he quickly explained in order to save Ling Qianbei, everyone moved out. Those higher level cultivators went to find spirit herb. I have the easiest job of running around. Then why are you going to Pei Hai City? Yimo asked again. It's said that the Mo Yu pills are very high quality. I want to see if there would be a pill suitable for Ling Qianbei. By the way, Tang Qianbei said she went to South Peace State to find someone to annihilate the 9-headed void devouring bug. Now that you've already annihilated it, Tang Qianbei probably don't need to go. I have to tell her this if she hasn't left yet, but I'm afraid she had already gone. Cheng Yejuan said. Cheng Yejuan seemed to have thought of something and added Broken Leaf City Pill Association Vice Leader Wang Tsungjian and Sect Leader Ming Xin were chatting about how a few days ago, a cultivator whose power was unable to be seen bringing a young girl around to search for your news. They're probably looking for you. Association Leader Wang said you have business in Pei Hai City, so you're probably there. Yimo immediately thought of Yimo and asked desperately, what are they called? That I don't know, that person didn't say either. Cheng Yejuan shook his head. Yimo didn't have the mood to go with Cheng Yejuan anymore. He gave him 3 jade bottles and said 2 of the pills are for Ling Zhongtian's wounds, another one is a gift. The rest of the pills are yours. You know what pills they are. I'm not going with you, I'm going back to Pei Hai City immediately. Then, Yimo took out Blue Moon and disappeared. Cheng Yejuan looked at the direction Yimo disappeared in confusion and then took out those pills. His face changed immediately. This is spirit recovery pill made with 10,000-year stalagmite marrow. I can't even recognize the other pills. When Yimo opened the bottle with only 1 pill, he called out in shock, truth spirit pill. Never had he thought that Yimo would give such a precious pill to him to bring to Ling Zhongtian. His heart was throbbing with this trust. He didn't think much and didn't even open the bottle for him. He quickly put them away and released his flying magic artifact and disappeared too. He didn't dare to waste time with such responsibility on him. North Far State wasn't small, but it was nothing compared to South Peace State and West Extreme State. In less than a day, Yimo arrived at Pei Hai City. Yimo scanned his spirit sense in. It was much more prosperous than before. With this many cultivators here, it probably had to do with the 9-headed void devouring bug. Mo Yu became the #1 cultivation merchant association. Yimo saw Zheng Xiaoshan and Li Jingwen, but he didn't see Yimo. Yimo's mood fell down immediately. He put away Blue Moon and entered Pei Hai. The guards all knew Yimo, and Yimo's arrival instantly spread. The city lord Qi Ziyu and Li Jingwen all came out to greet him. Even Shan Di ran out nervously. Tang Mengareo went to South Peace State to find Yimo, but Yimo came NAD. Tang Mengareo wasn't here. Shan Di couldn't hold it. He was scared of Yimo, but he still asked Pil Qingyi. Sect leader Tang went to South Peace State to ask for your help. Yimo waved his hand. I've already annihilated that 9-headed void devouring bug and killed that Hong Yixing. Don't worry about North Far State, go do what you need to do. Everyone was shook. They knew the power of the 9-headed void devouring bug and its master. Shan Di was truth realization state and had a forbidden technique and was very far, thus he survived. Yet, Yimo casually said he annihilated them. Just how powerful was he now? Shan Di could tell Yimo was truth realization state tertiary stage, but he wasn't sure. This was too absurd. Yimo didn't have the mood to talk and just went back to Mo Yu. Before Yimo even asked in the Mo Yu meeting hall, Zhen Xiaoshan said desperately, Yimo has been found, her master sent her here. It's said that Yimo's master is truth realization state level 9 and Yimo is hollow spirit state herself. Yimo got up in surprise and joy. He didn't even know what to ask. He didn't expect his guess to be right. Yimo really came back. He immediately thought of the truth realization state level 9 being hunted by Hong Yixing. Was he Yimo's master? After a long while, Yimo suppressed his joy. Where is Yimo? Why don't I see her? Su Yu quickly said. Sect leader Tang took the teleportation formation to South Peace State and was scared that the 9-headed void devouring bug would attack here, so she took Yimo to South Peace State. Yimo was a little disappointed that he missed his daughter, but he breathed easy. With Tang Mengrao's truth realization state power, they were clearly fine. The teleportation formation in South Peace State was in Mohai City. There was no high-level spirit beasts there, so there was no danger. With his status in South Peace State, they would probably be fine. The teleportation formation was damaged heavily and Tang Mengrao was barely able to leave. Yimo had decided to repair it and then leave through it. Yimo was repairing the teleportation formation while helping Mo Yu concoct some high-level pills. Yimo was repairing the teleportation formation while helping Mo Yu concoct some high-level pills. The 9-headed void devouring bug was killed by Yimo, so the cultivators hiding in Peihai City all left. They all came to say goodbye to Yimo. There were quite some sects at Peihai City too. 2 days later, Yimo repaired the Peihai teleportation formation and the city emptied up. There was still a lot of people, but not as abnormal as before. The day Yimo finished repairing the teleportation formation, Yimo left North Far State. Standing at Mohai City again, Yimo exclaimed. He went from Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds to West Extreme State and then from there to North Far State. Now, he took teleportation formation back to South Peace State. Other than East Black State that he hadn't been, Luo Yu Continent's 3 states were like his backyard. Yimo headed to the teleportation formation immediately. He was going to go South Peace City and then fly home to Mo Yu City. But as soon as Yimo came here, he felt an unusual temperature. 2 Golden Core State cultivators were discussing outside the teleportation formation hall. I'm certain that female cultivator is a truth realization state Qian Bei. She crushed that cauldron-filling state cultivator with one hand. It's definitely cultivation essence giant hand. Luonyi has been an overlord at Mohai City because his father is a cauldron-filling state powerful being and the vice city lord. Now, he met someone tough. He even dared to harass truth realization state Qian Bei's disciple. This is asking for death. But that truth realization state Qian Bei's disciple is indeed really pretty. Yimo heard this and immediately thought of Tang Mengrao and Yimo. Was that Luonyi harassing Yimo and was killed by Tang Mengrao? Yimo felt it wasn't so. If he encountered this, he would kill the person, but Tang Mengrao brought Yimo to South Peace State. She knew there were countless masters here. How could she be so impulsive? Suddenly, the Golden Core State cultivators found out there was someone in front of them. They couldn't see Yimo's power level and yet he came before them without a sound. Qian Bei, the Golden Core State level 4, got up nervously. Yimo nodded. I heard you guys talk about a truth realization state Qian Bei taking a young girl here and killed the vice city lord and his son, right? One of them nervously said. Qian Bei, we. Yimo smiled. No need to be nervous. That female cultivator is my friend, so I'm just asking. Don't worry. What happened? Do you know where she went after killing those 2? Did she leave through teleportation formation? Hearing this, the 2 Golden Core State finally felt assured. Now that Yimo asked about her, the Golden Core State level 4 quickly replied yes, it happened on the main street. The truth realization state Qian Bei killed Luan Yiju. Many cultivators saw this. Then the vice city lord Luan Chang came. He was also crushed by the Qian Bei's cultivation essence giant hand. But she didn't leave through the teleportation formation. After that, the truth realization state elder of the city came and they started fighting. Hearing this, Yimo was shook. Tang Mengrao was only truth realization state level 1. How could she fight other truth realization state cultivators? He then asked desperately, then what happened? The Golden Core State shook his head. We don't know. The Mohai City truth realization state Qian Bei didn't want to break the city, so they went to the Heartless Sea to fight. We don't know the results. Where is the young girl? Yimo asked. The Golden Core State answered. The female cultivator took the girl with her. They left towards east. The Golden Core State added, I heard the other Truth Realization State elder of the city also chased over. When was this? Yimo was worried. Tang Mengareo couldn't even beat one Truth Realization State, much less two. Yesterday, the Golden Core State answered but realized the cultivator had disappeared. Another Truth Realization State, Qianbei. The two glanced at each other and quickly left this hall. Yimo released Blue Moon and brought its speed to the maximum. He didn't know why Tang Mengareo still hadn't left Mohai City till up to yesterday, but she was in danger. Yimo used his strong dimensional sense to find some space ripples. The battlegrounds of Truth Realization State cultivator would still have some minor residue even after a day, but even Yimo could only barely find it. Rumble. A huge explosion sounded in the Heartless Sea. Yimo chased over without hesitation. When Yimo saw the three people there, he immediately knew he completely guessed wrong. There were two bodies on the island. One man and woman were at a standoff. Both of them were Truth Realization State peak stage. The male cultivator was heavily injured. He detonated some rune, but it didn't injure the female cultivator and instead disrupted his cultivation essence. Yimo didn't know this female cultivator, but she was much prettier than Tang Mengareo and had this royal temperament. More importantly, the girl watching wasn't Yimo, but Yimo knew her. Yimo suddenly waved to the girl Jie Yuning. Long time no see, how is your father? Yimo suddenly appeared there on the island, but when the female cultivator saw Yimo was only Truth Realization State level 7, the female cultivator showed a contemptuous look. She only started watching Yimo again when she heard he knew the girl. You're Yi Qianbei. The girl immediately ran to Yimo's side. That's right, I'm Yimo. Why aren't you with your father? It's quite some journey from your Zhuyin island to here. Why did you guys run so far? Yimo smiled and asked. The girl's eyes went red and sniffed. I don't even know if my father is alive or not. We three sisters ran out with Auntie Yi. And then, the girl glanced at the female cultivator and didn't dare to keep talking. Yimo felt the eeriness of things. Jie Yuning seemed to be scared of this Truth Realization State female cultivator. She was her Auntie Yi, she shouldn't be scared of her. Plus, Jie Feng was Truth Realization State peak stage. His cultivation essence and spirit sense were very powerful. Who would dare to do anything to Zhuyin Island? Yimo said to the girl Yuning, I'm friends with your father, if you have anything tell me. I will help you. You can leave with me, I really don't believe anyone dares to do anything to you. Her father seemed to have told her about Yimo's power and she boldened up. The female cultivator sneered such big words. Yimo didn't know the relationship between the two, so he ignored her and said, tell me what's going on. The girl glanced at the beautiful Truth Realization State peak stage female cultivator and said carefully, I'm actually Jie Yokue, Yuning is my little sister. Yimo coughed awkwardly, my bad, continue. A mere Truth Realization State level 7 dares to be this cocky. The female cultivator said to the young girl Jie Yokue, stand on the side, I'm going to kill Furs. The heavily injured man said to Yimo, friend, this demon killed the Vice City Lord of Mohai City and killed 2 Truth Realization State elders. Her power is very powerful. We need to join up against her. Haha, the beautiful female cultivator laughed as though hearing a ridiculous joke. I'm also planning to annihilate the entire Mohai City. What are you going to do? The female cultivator said coldly. I'm also planning to annihilate the entire Mohai City. What are you going to do? The female cultivator said coldly. Yimo frowned and asked Jie Yokue, who is she to you? Jie Yokue didn't dare to look up and said quietly, I don't know her, but she wants to take me back to some palace to be some young palace lord. The female cultivator sneered, that's right, it's your fortune. My ice god palace young palace lord is too timid. I'm going to change one, you're lucky to be chosen by me. This beautiful female cultivator was ice god palace lord Lang Ying. She came with the big manager to come find who killed her son Lang Yu. Dai Yun was good, but her character was too soft. She wasn't her best choice. She was about to immortal ascension and couldn't find someone to replace Ting Ting, but now, she saw Jie Yokue in the Heartless Sea. She was young and pretty but also very talented. She favored Jie Yokue immediately. Ice god palace lord? Yimo immediately thought of Lang Yu. It seems this was really passed down the family. They were all very selfish and did what they liked. So it's Ice God Palace people, no wonder you're so selfish. Yimo sneered in the demon prison forbidden grounds. There was a trash called Lang Yu. I killed him because he wanted to kill my disciple, could it be? Before Yimo finished, Lang Ying's eyes were about to burst out. She went crazy and her force burst out as though about to devour Yimo. So you killed my son. If I don't slice your essence spirit to pieces and burn them one by one, I swear I'm not a human. There was crazy killing intent in Lang Ying's eyes. In her eyes, only her son could kill other people and they weren't allowed to resist. Jie Yokue was shook and retreated. Yimo just waved his hand calmly and all his crazy killing intent was swept away as though nothing happened here. That heavily injured truth realization state cultivator was planning to run when he saw Lang Ying's attention was focused on Yimo, but after seeing what Yimo did, he immediately knew Yimo wasn't ordinary too and stopped. Seeing this, Lang Ying dazed and the craze disappeared from her eyes. She calmed down and flung out a messenger flying sword. Yimo didn't seem to see this. Lang Ying was rather strong amongst truth realization state tertiary stage, but he didn't care. Could she compare with Suo Anshan, Hong Yixing? She was at most a Yuzizhen, but in fact she was far from Yuzizhen. I remember, you're the city lord Yimo who killed 11 truth realization state of Pill City and annihilated 9-star sect Lightning Cloud sect and Infinity sect. The heavily injured truth realization state finally remembered who Yimo was. He realized he was probably safe now. Yimo was extremely powerful, unrivaled in the same state, but he never killed innocents. He had no enmity with him, so Yimo probably wouldn't kill him. No matter how powerful this female cultivator, she wouldn't be able to beat Yimo without a doubt. She suddenly stopped the purple gold band she released. She completely calmed down now. Yimo easily annihilating her killing force made her take him seriously but not feel threatened. But this truth realization state on the side said he killed 11 truth realization states and annihilated 2 9-star sects. This made her not only feel threatened but astonished. She rarely came to South Peace State, but it didn't mean she didn't know Pill City, Lightning Cloud sect and Infinity sect. Any of them were on par with her Ice God Palace. This guy could annihilate these 2 sects and challenge the Pill City. Didn't that mean he could easily annihilate her Ice God Palace? She was protective and trusted in her power, but she was no idiot. Seeing her fury retreat, Yimo said calmly, weren't you going to tear my essence spirit to pieces and burn them one by one? Why don't you attack? If you're not going to fight, I'm going to go. I don't like to fight women. Jie Yokue watched with surprise and joy. She could tell this palace lord felt very threatened by Yimo. Lang Ying finally couldn't bear the scorn and released her purple gold band. Purple gold light covered the heavens as they swept towards Yimo. The truth realization state quickly retreated. He knew that if this band formed a humanoid wave ring, cultivation essence and even spirit sense would be bound. He was bound by that and in his worry detonated a rune to escape. He thought Yimo would be very powerful and Lang Ying wouldn't be able to do anything to him. However, Yimo was caught in one round. The band had no form, but it looked like a colorful rope wrapping Yimo tightly. This magic artifact was so powerful. This was the first time Yimo saw a magic artifact that could bind cultivation essence and spirit sense. However, it was useless to him. Lang Ying didn't expect her to succeed this quickly. She was overjoyed. She thought she would need to use her 13 purple gold sword self-destruction to injure Yimo. She knew that by the time her magic artifact formed a humanoid wave, no one would be able to break free. There was a cruel look on Lang Ying's face seeing that her magic artifact bound Yimo. She kept inserting cultivation essence in wanting to completely bind Yimo. Yimo sneered and released a few spirit sense blades. The waved band immediately were falling apart. Before Lang Ying could react, Zishu hacked out. Thud. Lang Ying felt the backlash of her magic artifact and immediately spat a few mouthful of blood. She completely don't understand how Yimo broke free. She quickly used a few more hand signs before the band completely collapsed. 13 purple gold flying sword flew out faster than lightning. Rumble. The sword rays tore through space, creating waves of distortion ripples. The battle was in an instant and there were multiple explosions. The injured truth realization state peak stage looked dazily at the 13 swords and realized she didn't use her full power when fighting him. Lang Ying breathed easy. The self-destruction of her 13 purple gold sword made her lose a top-grade magic artifact, but she finally killed him. Moments later she was completely dumbfounded. Yi Mo appeared after the explosions, only his hair was a little messy. She really didn't understand how Yi Mo was fine. Even a body refinement cultivator wouldn't be able to survive that unscathed. Yet, Yi Mo was perfectly fine. Yi Mo was very annoyed. The self-destruction was so fast that even he didn't react fast enough. Before Lang Ying could react, Zishu hacked out, Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain. Seeing this, Lang Ying wanted to retreat, but she felt that space around her had turned to solid. Just taking one step back was extremely hard. Such powerful domain. Lang Ying looked at the nearing purple ray in despair. Lang Ying saw the big elder Wang Wen, but she didn't have much anticipation. Even she was no match for this absurd young man, much less Wang Wen. She hoped Wang Wen would be able to save her essence spirit. Lang Ying saw the big elder Wang Wen, but she didn't have much anticipation. Even she was no match for this absurd young man, much less Wang Wen. She hoped Wang Wen would be able to save her essence spirit. Wang Wen just got here and saw Yi Mo kill Lang Ying with one strike. He was scared soulless. He knew the power of the Palace Lord too well. He definitely couldn't beat her. It's been a while since Palace Lord asked for help, and thus it was clear that the young man beat the Palace Lord head-on. Facing such person, going over was suicide. Without hesitation, he released all his power and the rainbow cloud in the sky rustled. You actually started your immortal ascension, divine damnation. Lang Ying looked at Wang Wen in fury. She was hoping for her loyal big elder to save her essence spirit, but he instantly went to immortal ascension. Purple flame moved and Lang Ying couldn't keep thinking anymore. Yi Mo didn't know that killing Lang Ying equaled to saving Ting Ting and Anjichi. He didn't like to leave threats behind. Since there was already conflict between them, he might as well end it now. Seeing Wang Wen suddenly go immortal ascension, he immediately knew this guy was from Ice God Palace, but now, he couldn't kill him in time. B. Oxnovel. Com, thank you City Lord Yi for saving me. I'm number 1 elder of Mo High City Chiobeu. This demon killed the Vice City Lord and 2 Truth Realization State elders. If City Lord Yi didn't come over, I would be dead for sure. Chiobeu was very grateful to Yi Mo. Yi Mo said calmly, how come I heard that Vice City Lord is very murderous? If I see that type of trash I would kill him too. Are you going to hunt me down, Elder Chio? Chiobeu immediately knew that Yi Mo had a very bad impression of the Vice City Lord. I wouldn't dare. The Vice City Lord spoils his son to dominate the city. I've long disliked this too. Yi Mo said oh and couldn't be bothered talking to this guy anymore. He clearly knew what the Vice City Lord did but still didn't do anything. Seeing Yi Mo have no intentions of talking, Jieyokue didn't dare to keep staying here. He quickly saluted with his fists. Mo High City is very chaotic now. I need to go back and check. If there are more people like Luan Chang, I definitely will kill them. He was a truth realization state peak stage cultivator after all, and Yi Mo didn't want him to look too bad, so he waved his hand. In that case, go do what you need to do, Elder Chio. Yes, thank you City Lord Yi. Chiobeu didn't dare to stay anymore and took the 2 bodies of the Mo High City elders and left. Yi Mo didn't know his few casual words changed the culture at Mo High City. When Chiobeu got back, he didn't show any mercy on those domineering cultivators. Eventually, Mo High City grew to a city more prosperous than the South Peace City. Then, Jieyokue went up and thanked Yokue. Thank Yi Chen Bei for helping. Yi Mo waved his hand signaling her not to be pursued and asked what happened at Juyin Island. How is your father? Jieyokue's eyes went red. We were fine, but a few months ago, Peng Island Yuzhijan suddenly attacked. Hearing this, Yi Mo understood what happened. Jie Feng definitely was no match for Yuzhijan. She was a mad woman. She did that either for the spirit nourishing well or brought her fury on the island for no reason. Little did Yi Mo know, the reason Yuzhijan was going to kill Jie Feng was also due to Lan Chirue's words. My dad knew he was no match for Yuzhijan, so he let Auntie Yi take us sisters and leave. He stopped Yuzhijan and she didn't chase up indeed, but I'm worried about my father. Jieyokue cried. Imo fell silent. If it was something that just happened, he could go help, but now it had been a few months. How did you fall into the hands of the ice god Palace Lord? Imo changed the subject. Jieyokue sniffed. My dad wanted me to go to South Peace State and ask for help from you. Auntie Yi was heading towards South Peace State, but on the way we encountered a level 10 spirit beast. In the fight we got separated. Before I could find them, that Palace Lord just took me away. What power is your Auntie Yi? Where did you guys get separated? Truth realization state primary stage. I don't know where we got lost. It was far beyond the range of the Zhuyin Island. I've never been there. B. Oxnovel. Com. Imo nodded. A truth realization state primary stage should be fine against a level 10 beast, don't worry. I'm going to South Peace State now, are you coming with me? I'm willing to go with Yi Qianbei. Jieyokue said without hesitation. Imo released Blue Moon and sped off towards home. He couldn't even be bothered taking the teleportation formation. It would waste some time getting on and off, as it was like taking the plane. Ice God Palace, Yun Tingting and Anjichi were sitting in the room nervously discussing. Sister Chichi, did Elder Tu and Elder Peng really confirm they will be on our side? I'm still a bit nervous. Tingting said again and again. Anjichi said helplessly. Tingting, stop being so indecisive. If the Palace Lord Immortal ascends, you're the Palace Lord. Elder Tu is your teacher. He's not your master, but there's still a relationship there. He will definitely support you being Palace Lord. Elder Peng is my martial ancestor. I've mentioned it to my master. Master said his master would support you being Palace Lord. Anjichi then said there's 5 elders altogether now. There's an Elder Liu. Palace Lord reproached him before he left, and Lang Yu's death is related to him. After Palace Lord ascends, he probably will support you, but we need to show our goodwill first. Sister Chichi, is that why you've been telling me to say good morning to them? Yun Tingting asked. And Zed Hiki nodded. Of course. Those elders are all very cunning, they would know what you mean, but it's fine. As long as you show your respect, they would have a good impression of you. Plus, we're in a lot of danger. If we can't grab power before the 2 other sons are back, good things won't await us. Just when Tingting nodded, he felt the restriction outside shake. She quickly signaled to Anjichi and opened the door. Mushin, what happened? Tingting looked at the worried girl and asked. Sister Tingting, save me, save me. Mushin knelt down immediately. Anjichi pulled Mushin in and closed the door, signaling Tingting to put the restriction on. Tingting did so already. What happened, Mushin? Don't worry, speak slowly. Tingting said. Mushin sniffed just then. Palace Lord's soul card shattered. She clearly thought of Xiaoji's fate. What? Tingting and Anjichi were shook and couldn't speak a word. Anjichi reacted first and said to Mushin, don't worry, go back and wait for news. Palace Lord Tingting will do her best to help you. Anjichi reacted first and said to Mushin, don't worry, go back and wait for news. Palace Lord Tingting will do her best to help you. Seeing Mushin leave, Tingting asked in confusion, Sister Chichi, do you have something to tell me? Anjichi grabbed Tingting's hand in excitement. Tingting, is an opportunity. You should hold a meeting and use this to grab the power of the Palace Lord. I believe you don't need me to teach you what to do. Hurry up, the quicker you do this the better. Tingting dazed and subconsciously said, even if something happened to the Palace Lord, Big Elder is still there. We didn't ask Mushin. Anjichi quickly said, I intentionally didn't ask. Just say you cared too much about the Palace Lord and don't have the mood to ask about Big Elder. He wouldn't be in a good position himself. It would be better to ask during the meeting. Then, Anjichi added, I had a worry that I didn't tell you. Palace Lord had the intention of removing you. If you're not the young Palace Lord, you would be the sex slave of her 2 sons. I won't be better off myself. You need to use this opportunity. The person who killed the Palace Lord pretty much saved our lives. He's really a good person. Okay, this time Tingting didn't hesitate and nodded firmly. In the most grandiose palace in the Ice God Palace, all the elders and managers appeared here. However, the difference was that instead of the Palace Lord, it was a young girl sitting on the throne. The Mushin girl knelt in the palace shivering. The palace was dead silent and even the elders frowned. No one spoke. Ting Ting was nervous, but thinking about her discussion with Sister Chichi before, she forced herself to calm down. Quite some things have been happening to Ice God Palace lately. After second young master died in South Peace State, our palace lord also died in South Peace State. I'm very sad, I don't know what to do. Elders, please indicate what the Ice God Palace should do. This was the method they decided. She would place herself in a very low position in front of these elders. She must let them know that only if she was the palace lord would they have the greatest benefits. One truth realization state level 9 elder nodded. He was happy with Ting Ting's attitude. He was about to be truth realization state peak stage. He had no desire for power. He needed respect and cultivation resources. Elder Liu Shizhu stood out and asked Mushin, "Are there any news of Big Elder Wang Wen?" Mushin said shakily, "When I saw Palace Lord's soul card shatter, I was out of my mind. Later, I saw Big Elder's soul card didn't shatter but it turned pure white. Immortal Ascension." Hearing this, they immediately knew Great Elder ascended to the immortal realm. They glanced at each other and looked confused. Theoretically, it should be Big Elder's soul card shattering and Palace Lord ascending. But reality was opposite. What was going on? Mushin was very nervous, but no one cared about someone insignificant like her, and no one said she should die too. Ting Ting waved her hand, "Go back first and keep guarding the soul cards. Report to the elders or me immediately if new situation arises." Yes. Mushin resisted her excitement and retreated. She didn't hear the palace lord or the elders asking her to die. The managers realized what Ting Ting meant too. But this wasn't in accord with the rules. Not long ago, the palace lord said the soul card watcher must die after the soul card shattered. However, this manner of breaking rules made on Cauldron Filling State manager able to resist. He walked out and saluted to the elders first before casually saluting to Ting Ting. Clearly, his actions meant that the young palace lord was below the elders. Ting Ting was nervous. She knew at this moment she needed to assert her dominance, but she didn't have any capabilities to do so. Then, the manager said, "Young Palace Lord said last time that the Ice God Palace rules must not be broken. But it's only been a few days and our rule has been broken." The Palace Lord's soul card shattered, but young Palace Lord didn't let the young girl watching it to die. Yang Miaopei don't understood. "Please enlighten me, young Palace Lord." Mushin almost fell to the floor hearing this. Seeing everyone look at her, Ting Ting knew she had to assert her dominance or she might die immediately. Even if no elders supported her, she needed to show her temperament. Ting Ting sneered, "Manager Yang, let me ask you. When the Palace Lord ascends or unfortunately dies, what is the rule of the Ice God Palace? Do we not have a Palace Lord?" Yang Miaopei was shook. He realized he seemed to have said something wrong. He didn't dare to not answer her and quickly said, "Of course not. In such event, the Palace Lord will be immediately succeeded by the young Palace Lord. If there is no young Palace Lord, then the Palace Lord will be decided by the elders." Ting Ting said sadly, "The previous Palace Lord is my master, her death hurt me greatly." Then, her tone suddenly changed. She slammed the table and got up, pointing at Manager Yang, yelling, "The Ice God Palace rules are strict, but what did you do? According to the rules, I'm the Palace Lord now, and yet all you call me is young Palace Lord. Do you think your power is greater than the elders? Are you going to take away my position as Palace Lord?" Yang Miaopei was shook. He didn't expect the timid young Palace Lord would change so much after the Palace Lord was dead. He sneaked a glance at the other managers and elders. No one came out to speak. He was regretting, but he still said, "Palace Lord, my wrong choice of words, but our Ice God Palace rules." Ting Ting sneered and interrupted, "Who decides the Ice God Palace rules?" Of course the previous Palace Lord. Yang Miaopei suddenly felt there were some holes in his words. Ting Ting said pitifully, "Our Ice God Palace had survived for tens of thousands of years and now we go through hardship again. If we kill our own people because of this, wouldn't the enemy be joyful instead?" At this moment, one truth realization state elder got up and said, "Palace Lord is right, but Yang Miaopei offended Palace Lord, he needs to be punished by the Palace Lord." Seeing that it was Chichi's martial ancestor helping her at a critical moment. If no elders reacted to her words just then, it wouldn't be convincing at all. Yang Miaopei immediately knew he made a big mistake and quickly bowed. "It's my fault, please punish me, Palace Lord." A cold voice sounded. "Since you dare to offend the Palace Lord, then there's no need for punishment." A cultivation essence giant hand reached over and crushed him into bloody mist. What surprised everyone was that this was Liu Shizhu. Soon, Ting Ting knew this was a signal that Liu Shizhu was going to help her. She quickly said, "Now that a big disaster has fallen upon us, but we're lucky to still have the elders here. But since he can defeat our Palace Lord, it wouldn't be wise for us to attack. In order to get revenge for the Palace Lord, I suggest we return to the rules before and seal the palace for 50 years. Elders can try to improve their power. After 50 years, when our power reach a certain level, we must get revenge for Palace Lord." This 50 years was enough for them to grow in power. The managers looked at each other. If the palace was sealed for 50 years, what about the young masters? Clearly the Palace Lord didn't want them to come back. Getting revenge 50 years later was a joke. But no elders said anything. To them, cultivation was the most important thing. Sealing the palace meant they had less business and more time for cultivation. Lang Ying was too harsh in her means and took most of the cultivation resources. Thus, there was no elder who was truly loyal to her. But no elders said anything. To them, cultivation was the most important thing. Sealing the palace meant they had less business and more time for cultivation. Lang Ying was too harsh in her means and took most of the cultivation resources. Thus, there was no elder who was truly loyal to her. When Ting Ting took over, the top-grade resources would be open to the elders and thus won over their support instead. As for the two sons of the previous Palace Lord, who would care about their life and death? Plus, the 50 years revenge spoke into the hearts of the elders. If even the Palace Lord and the Big Elder were no match for that person, just how powerful would that person be? Seeking revenge was asking for death. Now that the Palace Lord said this, they were happy to play dumb. After the meeting ended, Ting Ting still didn't believe she easily won power like this. The support of one elder was enough, much less 3. But she didn't expect that the greater surprise was to come. Ting Ting went to the Palace Lord cultivation room immediately. And Jiqi told her she must control this place first, as it had been the cultivation grounds of all the Palace Lord. The reason the Palace Lord grows so fast is greatly due to this other than their own talent. Box novel. Only the next Palace Lord had been able to come in here, but the condition was that the previous Palace Lord died or immortal ascended. Ting Ting opened the cultivation room restriction and went into the cultivation room. Seeing everything inside, she was truly awestruck. She was a young Palace Lord and had a truth realization state level 9 master. Although her master didn't treat her that well, she would still give her 1 or 2 extreme grade spirit range occasionally. But seeing the large amounts of top grade materials, a raw cultivation jade slips and a huge spirit marrow pond. The spirit Kai was so dense that it was viscous. She didn't even need to cultivate to feel her power growing. There were circles and circles of extreme grade spirit stones on the side. Ting Ting knew that her cultivation level would be going straight up from now on. However, she couldn't bring Jiqi in here, but there were so many good things, she could bring some out for her. For the first time, she felt power was a good thing. If she wasn't Palace Lord, she wouldn't even dare to think about coming here. This is Moyu City. It's so beautiful, much prettier than my Yinju Island. Jieyokue exclaimed. Yimo immediately sent a messenger flying sword out when he got to South Peace State, but there was still no reply. Just when Jieyokue was about to ask, she found the flying magic artifact below her shake. She subconsciously looked at Yimo and saw Yimo look excitedly at a blue-dressed girl standing on the grass in front. Dad! Yimo also saw Yimo and called out in joy. She ran up. Although her master was very nice to her, she had always been thinking about home. Now that she saw her father again, she had a home again. Yimo hugged his daughter and suddenly eased up. Yimo had grown up a little but was still like the little girl all those years ago. He finally didn't have to worry about his daughter. Feeling her dad's excitement, Yimo regretted. She should have left with sister Jingwen. Anne. Yimo remembered she couldn't say Sister Jingwen anymore. Dad, sorry, I should have told Master to bring me to find you earlier. Yimo cried in Yimo's arms. She knew her dad searched the entire North Far State to find her. It's okay, it's all good now that you're back. Yimo looked up and saw Song Yangzhu, Luo Ying, Su Jingwen, and them. Yimo was back, so was Yimo. Everyone was overjoyed to see each other. The sliver of worry in Song Yangzhu's eyes were gone. Her only worry was Yimo, and now that she was fine, everything was good. They intentionally didn't reply to Yimo's messenger flying sword just so they could give Yimo a surprise here. Box novel. Com. Yimo introduced Jieyokue to everyone. Seeing Yimo finding her father but she didn't know if her father was even alive, Jieyokue's mood gloomed down again. Yimo thought of something and took out a storage ring. Dad, this is for you to eat. Yimo took the storage ring and scanned inside. There was a stack of blue wei fruits. They were level 6 spirit herb and very delicious. Yimo patted Yimo's head, feeling very happy. He helped her keep all sorts of spirit herbs and the 12 lightning orbs. His daughter also remembered him and kept so many blue wei fruits for him. However, Yimo didn't plan to give the 12 lightning orbs to her yet. When they got back, he would get her a new cultivation method and teach her lightning sword. Then, he would give the orbs to her. He believed that with his special customization of cultivation method for her, the 12 lightning orbs would be much stronger in her hands than Suo Anshan. Yimo thought of Tang Mengareo and asked, didn't sect leader Tang bring Yimo here? Where is she? Auntie Tang was asked by Marshal Auntie Ming Xin to go see Qin Muxin in the Heartless Valley. Yimo quickly said, by the way, is your master a grey-robed cultivator, truth realization state level 9? Yimo thought of the cultivator being hunted by Hong Yixing. Yimo quickly said yes. Dad, you didn't fight with him, right? Yimo smiled. How can I? He was being hunted and I helped him. I knew it. Yimo said, when I was with Jingwen, Auntie, he smashed a mountain and said he was stronger than you. Now that I think about it, he's tricking me. Dad, you were probably truth realization state at the time, right? Yimo shook his head. No, he didn't trick you, he was indeed stronger than me at the time. At that time, Yimo was probably just foundation establishment state. Your master is very nice to you. Your master must have paid a huge price for you to reach hollow spirit state at this age with your talent. Yimo knew Yimo's spirit root was good but far from Qingxue and them. Yimo quickly said yes. Master treats me the best, I can't even finish using all sorts of pills and spirit stones. Seeing the father and daughter can't stop talking, Song Yangzhu quickly ame and said, let's go back first. Then, Yimo smiled apologetically to Luo Ying, Qingxue, and them before giving everyone a hug. Back at Moyu City, Yimo revised a new cultivation method and gave it to Yimo. Then he gave the 12 lightning orbs to her. Her original magic artifact was a low-grade cultivation artifact, lightning chain. This was quite good for her. But compared to the 12 lightning orbs, it was a bit lacking. Yimo was very happy with the 12 lightning orbs. Her equipments greatly changed up too. Her flying cultivation artifact became extreme grade 2. Yimo spoiled Yimo and almost gave all the good things to her. Song Yangzhu and them were even a little envious watching this. Knowing that Yimo was already truth realization state level 7, everyone felt a sense of urgency, even Luo Ying. He wasn't far from truth realization state level 9, and if he reached truth realization state level 9 and ascended, what would they do? Yi Ling was the most worried and almost went into solitary cultivation. Su Jingwen felt the easiest, she had the best spirit root and was the strongest amongst them. She was about to reach body condensation state in a while. Everyone desperately wanted to speed up cultivation. Luckily Yimo had a lot of immortal crystals. He couldn't let them use time formation disc without restraint, but it was fine occasionally. Everyone desperately wanted to speed up cultivation. Luckily Yimo had a lot of immortal crystals. He couldn't let them use time formation disc without restraint, but it was fine occasionally. It was fine for Yimo to use the time formation disc as he had bitter bamboo and his mind state would be very stable. But the others couldn't enjoy that. From what happened at the Abyssal River, if he let out the entire bitter bamboo, Would the immortal realm cultivators know about it too? He didn't dare to take this risk. In order to set up cultivation place, Emo put in a lot of effort. He set up a spirit-nourishing well at the Moyu City Lake. Then, he mimicked the Chu 18 discs and set one up. He took out all sorts of pills without restraint. As for immortal crystals, he kept 300 to himself to reach truth realization state peak stage. He split the rest as well. With everyone getting their cultivation resources, they all went into solitary cultivation. Emo went into solitary cultivation himself. He had never settled to cultivate during his journey. Now that Yimo came back, he breathed easy. The only shame was that Mu Xiaoyun was still nowhere to be seen. He also felt guilty about Luo Xian going missing. He reached Kai Gathering level 4 and got the golden page world due to her, but this cute girl was missing too. Yimo cultivated Heaven Flame 9 Suns, Purple Eye Soul Sever and 5 Element Mobility. He didn't want to increase his cultivation level. He knew that he was Truth Realization State level 7, but it would be extremely hard to find a match on Luo Yu continent. He didn't want to go to the immortal realm alone. South Peace State seemed to have settled after the Pill City breaking apart, the annihilation of 2 9-star sects and the incident at the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. Perhaps because too many immortal demon crystals flowed out and Moyu City's Vice City Flowing Snake City sold too many pills, most cultivators went into a solitary cultivation craze. Ning Qingxue named the city Flowing Snake in remembrance of the truly meaningful starting point of their relationship. The name was very average, but the city wasn't at all. It was getting more and more prosperous. Any cultivator wanted to come trade here, there were all the pills you wanted here. Even if you wanted Truth Realization Pill and Disaster Life Pill, you could make an order and come to an auction. As long as you had spirit stones or precious materials and spirit herb, you could buy anything from Moyu Mall. From Essence Increasing Pill to Truth Realization Pill, from low-grade magic artifact to extreme-grade cultivation artifact, there was only things you couldn't afford, not things you couldn't find. Of course you could choose other merchant associations pills, but for above heaven grade level 4 and middle grade cultivation artifact, you could only go to Moyu Mall. Flowing Snake changed the situation in South Peace State and even the entire Luo Yu continent. Truth Spirit Pill that couldn't be bought and extreme grade cultivation artifact as well as heaven grade level 6 pills could all be bought now. Cultivators from Kai Gathering to Truth Realization State all went to Flowing Snake City. Although more wanted to go to Moyu City, but it wasn't easy to settle there. More importantly, one could buy whatever they wanted in Flowing Snake City without needing to worry about being robbed. If this happened, no matter who, would be unable to leave the city and annihilated by city guards. But no one dares to cause trouble here. Everyone knew who the city belonged to. Level 9 Pill King, the person who annihilated 11 Pill City Truth Realization State cultivators by himself, one who annihilated 2 9-star sects and saved countless cultivators from the demon prison Forbidden Grounds, City Lord Yimo. Meanwhile, the once very prosperous Pill City started to decline. There were less and less people day by day. Some Truth Realization State cultivators even secretly left the Pill City and headed to Flowing Snake to settle. It was only a matter of time before Flowing Snake surpassed Pill City. Yimo settled his mind to go into solitary cultivation to cultivate the Heaven Flame 9 Suns, but he was called out. It was Yu Chichao. There was also Ji Ling and Shen Guanqing with him. Even the Truth Realization State Elder Lin Ji came out. Ji Ling passed down the sect leader of all formation sect and stayed at Moyu City. What happened? Yimo had a bad feeling. Shen Guanqing said heavily other Pill City, the sect leaders of the 9-star sects Jin Gang Temple, Godwind Valley, Black Ice Sect, Clear Dream Mosque, Abstruse Sound Sect, Heaven Demon Sect all came to Moyu City. 8-star sects such as Heartless Valley, Heaven Herb Lake, Heaven Star Sect, Golden Sword Sect all came. They're waiting for you at the City Lord Estate Guest Hall. What happened? Yimo frowned. If all the sect leaders of the top-grade sects of South Peace State came, clearly it was no small thing. Yu Chichao, the great disaster of South Peace State, is probably here. Countless sand-like spirit beasts have ravaged sects. Quite a few 6-star and below sects have been annihilated. They have this natural ability to devour essence spirit. Sand soul beasts. Yimo was shook. Were they not slaughtered clean? He clearly sealed the demon prison forbidden grounds. Yu Chichao looked at Yimo strangely. You've seen them before? Are they called sand soul beasts? But there's too many of them. There's about 10 million or more. The highest level is level 10. Yimo breathed easy instead. Luckily he slaughtered them inside the forbidden grounds, or they would truly be over. 10 million wasn't enough for him to kill. It was no big deal. This was no cultivation realm disaster. It was done by that guy called Lu Zhengquan. This isn't it. It said that the fire-eating bug demon appeared again. He appeared at the same time as those sand soul beasts. One in the south, one in the north. He's more cocky than 10,000 years ago. He annihilated more than 10 small sects immediately. On top of that, problems occurred at the Ice God Forbidden Grounds, and Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds too. Countless spirit-devouring bugs flew out of the Ice God Forbidden Grounds, and the flames of the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds are reaching out. Although it hadn't harmed any sect yet, but it's sooner or later. If this continues, South Peace State would be dead for sure. Yimo got up abruptly. He was certain that the person knew he took the small sapling. So these disaster that was supposed to occur a few hundred years later occurred now. Then what about the other few states? Yimo began to worry. No matter how powerful he was, he couldn't deal with all these himself. Let's go to the guest hall immediately. Yimo got up and said. The Mo Yu City Lord Estate guest hall was filled with people. Any of them were very famous in South Peace State, either a sect leader or some 9-star sect elder. But now, they were all anxious and no one wanted to say anything. The Mo Yu City Lord Estate guest hall was filled with people. Any of them were very famous in South Peace State, either a sect leader or some 9-star sect elder. But now, they were all anxious and no one wanted to say anything. They were all waiting for someone, and that was Mo Yu City Lord Yimo. No one showed impatience while waiting them. Sorry for making you all wait so long. Yimo appeared at the entrance. Everyone breathed easy. It was good as long as Yimo came. Some were worried about Yimo not wanting to mind this matter because the Mo Yu City defense formation were impeccable. Shan Bingfeng got up and said, Yimo, let me introduce. Yimo quickly saluted with his fists. Okay, thank you Shan Qianbei. He didn't know most of the people here despite them all knowing him. Shan Bingfeng nodded. Jingang Temple head monk Chen Wei, Black Ice sect leader Yang Guan, God Wind Valley sect leader Mo Ming, Abstruse Sound sect leader Jing Fengji, core disciple Jing Yingmeng, Heaven Demon sect leader Shiluan Goddess, Elder Le Yarrow, Golden Sword sect leader Wen Ziran, Ethereal Immortal Pond sect leader Hu Fei Goddess, Heaven Star sect leader Ji Shuye, Heartless Valley sect leader Haiyan, Heaven Herb Lake sect leader, Bai Lian. Yimo greeted them all. Hu Fei Goddess was disaster transformation state level 7 and still extremely beautiful. This was the first time Yimo saw Jing Fengji, but he had seen the girl behind him, one of South Peace State 10 beauty. Yimo knew Le Yarrow of Heaven Demon sect. She helped him quite a bit at Black Ice sect and was heavily injured for sending him to Mo Yu City. So, Yimo was very hospitable and thankful seeing her. She was a disaster transformation state level 1 cultivator, but her pill was sent over by Yimo. There were a lot of people here but not many truth realization state cultivators. The strongest was Heaven Demon sect Shiluan, truth realization state level 7, then Jing Fengji truth realization state level 4. Jingang Temple Chen Wei truth realization state level 3. God Wind Valley Mo Ming and Shan Bingfeng were both truth realization state level 2. The rest were disaster transformation state cultivators. Those who came were representatives, not necessarily the strongest in the sect. After everyone was introduced, Yimo let everyone sit down and took out spirit fruits and spirit wine from his storage ring, sending it to everyone. It was customs to treat guests with spirit fruits. Yimo had large sums of level 6 blue wei fruit, but he couldn't bear to take them out. It was given to him by Yimo. Of course, Yimo wouldn't be taking out low-level things. These spirit fruits were all level 8 snow peaches from West Extreme State. It could cure pill poison while condensing one's cultivation essence. It also tasted very delicious. Its level 8 spirit fruit snow peach, Heaven Herb Lake sect leader by Lian was the first to recognize. Who didn't know how precious level 8 spirit fruits were, but Moyu City Lord casually took out so many to treat guests. Was he generous, showing off, or just wasting things? Heaven Demon Sect Shilwan Goddess Side City Lord Yi, you're really generous. Not only did you use Snow Peach to treat us, but also top-grade spirit herb produced cultivation condensation wine. Both are good for removing pill poison and condensing cultivation essence. It seems City Lord knows that the pill poisons in our bodies are still there. Luanshi, thank you. Then, Luanshi got out and bowed. Luan 11 was on par with Hu Fei in terms of looks and looked even more vibrant. Yimo could tell that although this woman was Truth Realization State Level 7, she was on par with ordinary Truth Realization State Level 9. Seeing this, everyone all came out to thank Yimo. Yimo signaled them to sit down before saying, I've seen those sand beasts, they're called sand soul beasts. I've killed quite a lot in the demon prison Forbidden Grounds, but I didn't expect more to come out. Their main method of attack is Soul Devour. They could destabilize Cultivator Essence Spirit. If you can't resist the Soul Devour, then the only way is to kill it quickly. So they're sand soul beasts. City Lord Yi, your method is good, but you don't know how many there are. There's just too many, there's 10 million. With this many, they can easily annihilate South Peace State. We can't kill that many at one time. Heartless Valley Hyan said. Hyan was a female cultivator, but she was far from as good-looking as Hu Fei and Luan 11. She wasn't scorning Yimo, but it was striking his face a little. Yimo didn't care, those sand soul beasts were nothing. He killed a few 100 million in the Forbidden Grounds before, otherwise these sect leader wouldn't be sitting here talking to him like this. But Yimo didn't say that as it was too shocking. People can't even begin to imagine how powerful his cultivation essence and illusion cloud domain kill strike was. Yang Guan was scared Hyan would anger Yimo, so he quickly said the greatest danger is currently the soul sand beasts. As for the fire-eating bug demon, we heard he annihilated 6-star sect Jufu Mountain. We don't know why he's staying there, but he's the least worry now. Yimo nodded. In that case, then please all go stop the flames of Flame Sea from spilling. If you guys can stop it for half a month, I can annihilate the sand soul beasts and the spirit-devouring bugs and then make way to see Flame Forbidden Grounds. You're going to deal with the sand soul beasts and spirit-devouring bugs by yourself, a clear voice sounded in the hall. It was full of disbelief. Meng don't be rude. Jing Fengji was prideful, but he knew Yimo's power greatly. He apologized to Yimo. My daughter has not seen the bigger world, please forgive her, City Lord Yi. Yimo waved his hand. If everyone trusts me, we'll do this. Otherwise, hesitating for longer would only result in more sects being annihilated and countless cultivators dying. I agree with City Lord Yi's opinion, but I can bring my Jin Gang Temple people to stop the spirit-devouring bugs for 7 days. If City Lord Yi can support me within 7 days, we would be fine. I think the rest of the people should follow City Lord Yi's will and go stop the Flame Sea eruptions. Jin Gang Temple Chen Wei got up and supported. I agree to City Lord Yi and Chen Wei head monk. Shan Bingfeng conformed. With these two agreeing, the rest all got up and agreed. Some people were dubious, but no one said anything. After all, Yimo did kill 11 Truth Realization State cultivators in a row. Who was to be sure he couldn't annihilate the sand soul beasts? Plus, according to Yimo, he had encountered them before. Yimo said, in that case, let's go to work. Where are the sand soul beasts? They're at the extreme south, Qinghai sect. After annihilating them, they're heading towards middle of South Peace State. They're probably entered the mainland now. The spirit-devouring bugs are near the first mainland sect, Ice Sword sect. We've notified the sect's people to leave. We don't exactly know where they are, but wherever they pass, no life exists. Golden Sword sect leader Wen Ziran replied. In that case, let's move out now. Yimo said without hesitation. When everyone had left, Yimo told Yu Chichao and Jiling and them to not leave Moyu City no matter what. If something happened at Moyu City, they should send messenger flying sword to him immediately. To Yimo, South Peace State was important, but Moyu City was more important. After that, Yimo released Blue Moon and left Moyu City heading towards Qinghai sect. Yi Mo didn't immediately go to Qinghai sect after leaving Moyu City, he went to the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. Yi Mo didn't immediately go to Qinghai sect after leaving Moyu City, he went to the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. If these sand soul beasts all came out of the demon prison Forbidden Grounds, he would immediately seal that place. It was easy to kill sand soul beasts, but if he didn't cut the disaster from the source. As soon as Yi Mo came out of the demon prison Forbidden Grounds, Yi Mo knew that these sand soul beasts didn't come from the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. The seal was perfect and there was no way sand soul beasts from there. Yi Mo frowned. If there was another place like the demon prison Forbidden Grounds with also a few 100 million sand soul beasts, what would happen if they all came out? Qinghai sect was on the south, but it was very far from the ice god Forbidden Grounds. Ice god Forbidden Grounds was extreme south near west, Qinghai sect was extreme south near east. Qinghai sect was just a 6-star sect. It was near the border and not very famous in South Peace State. At this moment, there was not even a wild beast there, much less surviving cultivators. There was only huge mouth spirit beasts that were made up of fine sands. The bodies of these spirit beasts were everywhere, there were a few 100,000 of them. The nearest sect to the Qinghai sect was Fusion Joy sect. This was a 7-star sect. But at this sect, everyone had a pale face because outside the sect defense formation, it was filled with densely cluttered sand soul beasts. No one could count how many sand soul beasts there were. The Fusion Joy sect leader was beginning to regret that he didn't leave in time. He knew this wasn't his fault. How could a 7-star sect just easily give up their sect grounds? Plus, their defense formation is on par with 9-star sect, it was level 9 peak defense formation. The sect had a few thousand cultivators too, it should be fine to use the defense formation to defend against the sand soul beasts' onslaught for half a month. If they do, then the big sects from the South Peace State would come to support them. After all, the news they got was that there would be no more than a few million sand soul beasts. Now, everyone in the sect realized how big this mistake was. This wasn't a few million sand soul beasts, this was at least 70 million sand soul beasts. There were endless waves of sand soul beasts. Now, not just the ground but the sky above the sect was filled with sand soul beasts. These sand soul beasts kept coming over, a large grey patch. One couldn't even see the sky. Even with the level 9 defense formation, they wouldn't be able to last half a day, and this was mainly because only a limited number of sand soul beasts could attack the formation. Otherwise, even if 1/10 of all the South Peace State cultivators came, they would be heavily injured. Yi Mo didn't stop at Qinghai sect and immediately chased off at the direction the sand soul beasts went. On the way, he saw a few destroyed cultivation cities. By the time Yi Mo got to Fusion Joy sect, their defense formation was about to fall. He had heard of this sect as there was a female cultivator called Du Xiuying in here, one of South Peace State 10 beauties. Looking at the dense cluster of sand soul beasts, Yi Mo realized that Golden Sword sect when Ziran's intel was completely garbage, there wasn't just a few million here, there was about 100 million. Yi Mo was shook. If South Peace State cultivators can't gather together quickly, these sand soul beasts would be enough to gradually annihilate the South Peace State. Luckily, he came here in time. After he annihilated these sand soul beasts, he would have to find out where they came from. To Yi Mo, he didn't really care how many sand soul beasts there were. His illusion Cloud 8 Thrike was for mass slaughter. As soon as Yi Mo came, countless sand soul beasts charged at him. In the defense formation, almost all the sect members came out. Without the help of all these cultivators, this formation wouldn't even be able to last 15 minutes under these attacks. Du Xiuming bit her lips, she really didn't want to die like that, but faced against so many sand soul beasts, she felt a sense of relief. As one of the South Peace State 10 beauties, her sect was the weakest. Even Qiu Shui was in Green Pill sect and had a higher status than her. On nicer terms, Fusion Joy sect was a 7-star sect, but the truth was that they were a sect that relied on dual cultivation. Originally, a proper dual cultivation sect was fine. As long as the man and woman chose to be Dao partners, then it was natural for them to dual cultivate. But the Fusion Joy sect today completely goes beyond the line. The male and female cultivators in the second are just completely promiscuous. Other than a few cultivators who dislike this, most cultivators don't even care who their dual cultivation partner is. They could change one every day as long as it improved their power. She being one of the South Peace State 10 beauties with a very high talent, there were countless people who wanted to dual cultivate with her. If it wasn't that her master was a cauldron-filling state cultivator of the sect and she was hollow spirit state, it was almost impossible to preserve her virginity. Sometimes, she would rather be a demon cultivator than be in this sect. The reason she hadn't left the sect up until now was that she didn't have the courage to bring this up. She owed the sect. When her family was destroyed, the sect saved her father and her. She was treated very well by the sect. She was one of the most important core disciples. If she left the sect now, even if the sect agreed, she would bear the name of a traitor and a wolf. Martial Sister Xiaoying, what are you thinking about? A tall long-faced cultivator suddenly walked next to her and asked. Du Xiaoying frowned. This was her martial brother Wang Pang. He had to bothered her to dual cultivate with her. He was hollow spirit state level 6 power while she was only hollow spirit state level 4. Wang Chan said shakily, Martial Sister Xiaoying, now that so many sand soul beasts are attacking our sect, I believe our sect can't change this no matter what. Xiaoying, I've always loved you, since we're going to die anyways, we might as well. A sliver of disgust flashed across her eyes and she suddenly breathed easy. She felt what was a better time to leave the sect than now. Seeing Du Xiaoying breathe easy, Wang Pang said joyfully, Xiaoying, you agree? People looked over and some female cultivator sneered in contempt. She acts like a goddess usually, and now that she knows she can't live she still wants to enjoy. Du Xiaoying didn't seem to hear this. She walked to the sect leader and took out her storage ring and magic artifact. Xiaoying, thank Fusion Joy Sect for saving me and my father. Now, I wish to leave the sect. Sect leader, please allow this. Everyone looked dazedly at her. No one expected her to do this at this moment. Wang Pang's face burst red. He didn't expect his confession of love further strengthened her decision to leave the sect. The sect leader frowned and his face went cold. She was one of the most talented sect members and the sect didn't treat her badly. Why did she decide to leave the sect now? But seeing the storage ring and magic artifact on the ground, the sect leader realized that she knew she would die for sure and she wouldn't be considered a traitor if she left the sect now. It seemed she had long wanted to leave but couldn't make the decision. Sigh, your master had left the sect 5 years ago and there's still no news. Okay, no one can live today anyways, so I might as well let you. As for your storage ring and magic artifact, take it. When the formation breaks, even if you can't run away from the sand soul beasts, having your magic artifact means you still a sliver of chance. Sigh, your master had left the sect 5 years ago and there's still no news. Okay, no one can live today anyways, so I might as well let you. As for your storage ring and magic artifact, take it. When the formation breaks, even if you can't run away from the sand soul beasts, having your magic artifact means you still a sliver of chance. Du Xiaoying quickly bowed a few times and said thank you, sect leader. Xiaoying owes the sect greatly. The magic artifact and things inside the storage ring top grade. Xiaoying has left the sect, I can't take these. Then, Du Xiaoying left and went to the far side. Staring into sand soul beasts, her heart felt calm. However, she stood far away. She was a hollow spirit state level 4 cultivator, she didn't have any magic artifact. It was impossible for her to fight her way out. Seeing this, the sect leader sighed. The elders sighed too. No one was dumb. They knew why she left. What she did was completely opposite to what the sect did. They were a dual cultivation sect and yet she didn't cultivate dual cultivation and made friends with unimportant people. Was what the sect was doing right? From the elders to the sect leader, they were all thinking about this problem. But soon, they cast the thought aside. Now that the sect was going to be annihilated, what was the point of thinking about this? Wait, someone seems to be coming over to help. One elder's spirit sense scanned Yimo. All the cultivators above Golden Core State saw Yimo come. Just one person, another elder added in disbelief. The heart of joy dissipated. There was no way one person could kill all these sand soul beasts. He would eventually be devoured. Yimo had experience in killing these sand soul beasts. He knew that once they chose a target, they wouldn't stop until they killed the target. This was very scary to others, but to Yi Mo, nothing was better than this. He wanted them to all squirm up and attack him. Zishu was released and the illusion cloud domain kill strike swung around like a huge sword. In his sword domain, not a single sand soul beasts could live, not even level 10 sand soul beasts. The sword ray had expanded out to nearly 1 kilometer. This terrifying sword ray was like a harvesting machine. The sand soul beasts around Yi Mo instantly cleared. However, how could 100 million sand soul beasts be killed so easily? Instantly, this empty space was filled again. The purple flower sprouted again until it became a huge purple lotus. With Yi Mo being the center, the flower sprouted out and quickly moved towards the center of the sand soul beast's tide. The sand soul beasts shrieked. The empty space only lasted a few seconds and were filled again. The originally disappointed Fusion Joy Sect members were completely dazed now. This wasn't a battle, this was harvesting crops. Was this person even a cultivation realm cultivator? Amidst this many sand soul beasts, not only could he keep his essence spirit stable but also harvest large packs of sand soul beasts. Just who was this? The sand soul beasts soon left the sect's defense formation and charged at Yi Mo, but they all turned to bodies. Seeing the dead sand soul beasts' bodies gradually form small mountains and then mountain ranges, all the Fusion Joy Sect members fell silent. There was only excited panting. Just who is this? The sect leader murmured. Sect leader, the sand soul beasts retreated, one elder said. Should we retreat now? One cauldron filling state elder asked. Everyone knew this was the best opportunity to leave. If they left after the sand soul beasts annihilated that person, it would be too late. I don't think it's necessary, that cultivator is too terrifying. His purple sword technique is insane. Even with the 100 million sand soul beasts, I don't think it's enough for him to kill. An elder said. The sect leader frowned, he didn't know what to do. If those sand soul beasts gathered around again, the sect would be annihilated for sure. That cultivator was powerful but was by himself, his cultivation essence and spirit sense were limited. He wouldn't be able to last that long. I know who that person is, a body condensation state said. He called an excitement it's Mo Yu City Lord Yi Mo City Lord Yi killed 11 truth realization state cultivators in a row and easily annihilated the Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect. He's the strongest in South Peace State. He's on par with Chu Jiuyu from many years ago. Now that he's here, our sect is saved. It's actually Yi Mo. The sect leader just realized and immediately said everyone prepare to release magic artifact and fight with the sand soul beasts. We'll guard the formation now and cheer Yi Qianbei on. There was still hope of escaping the instant Yi Mo was killed, but if they dared to run away first when the city lord of Mo Yu City came to help them, then they would be dead for sure. It's actually him. Du Xiuying looked at the purple rays in awe. She knew that although her sect members called him Qianbei, but she knew he wasn't younger than her. The thing she had been hearing the most was legends about Yi Mo Pill King Tournament No. 1, killing 11 truth realization state of Pill City, annihilated 9-star sect, saving countless cultivators from the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. Any one of them was heavenly shocking. Seeing that large area of sand soul beasts being wiped out by Yi Mo's purple ray, Du Xiuying had a sudden worry. She was worried that she wouldn't be able to die. If she didn't die and left the sect, what would happen? She subconsciously looked at the sect leader and elders, but everyone was too excited. No one wanted to die. The more Yi Mo slaughtered, the more satisfaction he felt. With this dense cluster, one strike could kill 10,000 or more. But as there were less and less sand soul beasts, he killed less per swing. Sometimes, it was only a few hundred. There were a lot of sand soul beasts, but it still couldn't compare with the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. Later on, the sand soul beasts felt scared but still kept charging at Yi Mo, but with a slower speed. Thus, Yi Mo released Illusion Cloud Division Strike and the countless lightning arcs. Yi Mo tried to kill them quickly as he knew things wouldn't be so simple. He had to find the place where these sand soul beasts came from. Otherwise, it's uncertain if the monks of Jin Gang Temple could even last that long. Yimo quite approved of Chen Wei to offer to stop the spirit-devouring bugs. He had seen how powerful they were. The ones he annihilated in the ice god forbidden grounds were probably just one part. Yimo quite approved of Chen Wei to offer to stop the spirit-devouring bugs. He had seen how powerful they were. The ones he annihilated in the ice god forbidden grounds were probably just one part. After he annihilated the sand soul beasts, he had to reinforce the monks of Jingang Temple. Seeing nearly 100 million sand soul beasts die to Yimo's purple sword rays and Yimo releasing countless lightning arcs, the Fusion Joy sect cultivators forgot to be amazed. They were scared. To them, Mo Yu City Lord's power was indescribable. No wonder the Lightning Cloud sect and Infinity sect were annihilated, they chose such an opponent. Half a day later, the countless sand soul beasts' bodies had piled up to an endless mountain range. Yimo stood on top of the mountain range and sighed. Last time in the demon prison forbidden grounds, he would need more than half a day to kill this many sand soul beasts, but today, he used less than half a day. Clearly, his illusion cloud domain kill strike was getting more and more powerful. By the time the cultivators reacted, they realized that all the sand soul beasts had been annihilated clean by the purple sword rays and lightning arcs. The cultivators all cry over and Yimo put away Zishu. Fusion Joy sect Yu Jiong Reet City Lord Yi, thank you enduring the labor to come. Yimo waved his hand and stopped him. It's nothing. Fusion Joy sect has been here for quite some years. Do you know what place around here has dense yin kai? Yimo thought for a while and couldn't find a better way to describe it, so he said a place like the demon prison forbidden grounds that can birth evil spirits. Sand soul beasts needed evil spirits to reproduce and grow quickly. Yimo guessed that they would be living in a place with dense yin kai. Yu Jiong didn't expect Yimo to ask such a strange question, and he didn't know how to answer. He really didn't know where had a lot of yin kai. Even if there was, there wouldn't be evil spirits. Evil spirits were powerful enough to kill truth realization state. Yu Jiong was very anxious. He didn't know the first question that City Lord Yi asked him. If he knew the answer, the City Lord would have a great impression of him. I know. At this moment, a voice helped him. Yimo rejoiced. To be honest, he didn't have much hope when asking. After all, even if there was a place with evil spirits, the person wouldn't be able to live to tell the story. Du Xiuying got up and bowed. City Lord Yi, I know that place. Such a beautiful female cultivator. Yimo was surprised to see that she was not only beautiful but also talented. She was no older than Luo Ying but was Hollow Spirit State Level 4. However, Yimo was strange to see that she didn't have a storage ring and only had a storage bag on her. The Fusion Joy sect couldn't be this poor. When he saw that nascent soul state and even golden core state cultivators had storage ring, he knew she was a special case. Yu Jiong rejoiced hearing her words and just wanted to say something, but Du Xiuying walked up to him and bowed. Xiuying, thanks City Lord for taking me in. Although I'm not a sect members of Fusion Joy sect anymore, I'm very grateful for the sect's teachings and resources. Yu Jiong didn't feel too happy, he just wanted to say she was his core sect members. You're Du Xiuying? One of South Peace State 10 beauties? Yimo thought no wonder she was so beautiful, but it seemed she had left the sect. Du Xiuying immediately answered, enjoy. Yes, City Lord Yi. Yu Jiong saw there was nothing he could suck up to Yimo with, so he said, that's right, City Lord Yi. Xiuying has been our sect members. She thought she would certainly die to the Sand Soul Beast's attacks, so she left the sect, but now that they have retreated, she can come back at any time. Du Xiuying didn't dare to argue back. Everyone knew she didn't want to go back, but the sect leader said this. She didn't dare to say she wanted to leave the sect in from of City Lord Yi, or he might feel extremely disgusted to her. But if she stayed, she wouldn't have the same treatment as before. She might even fall to the status of an outer sect members. In the sect, the outer sect members had to dual cultivate with inner sect members if they wanted. She was waiting for Yimo to get her to lead the way. If she left, she would never come back. Yimo sneered, he wouldn't care about this, but this sect leader thought of him as an idiot. This made him very unhappy. How could he not understand what was going on? She wasn't an idiot. Why would she choose to leave the sect before she died? If Yu Jiong didn't do that, he wouldn't be bothered saying anything and would at most let her lead the way. But now, this made Yimo furious. How dare you Jeong use him? Yimo said calmly, since you're not a Fusio Joy sect members you can come with me. Yes. There was joy in her eyes, she could tell Yimo was helping her and immediately walked out without hesitation. Hearing Yimo's tone go cold, Yu Jeong was scared sweating. He really didn't want to use Yimo, but now, he realized how stupid his actions were. He wanted to apologize, but Yimo couldn't be bothered seeing him and just left with Du Shoying in Blue Moon. Thank you City Lord Yi. Du Shoying wans ti dumb. Yimo waved his hand. No need, tell me where the place with evil spirits are. Du Shoying nodded. I'm not certain if that is the place City Lord Yi is looking for, but it indeed has heavy yin kai and I don't dare to go in at all. Tell me about the exact situation. I'll go in and check. Yimo said. Du Shoying said, I was only 13 at the time and my parents were hunted by enemies and they all died at the Ci Mountain. Just when I was about to be raped and killed, my adoptive father suddenly charged out from the icy river. I didn't know him at the time, but seeing that they were about to rape a 13-year-old girl, he was furious. He killed that person, but he hadn't cultivated immortal cultivation before. He cultivated ancient martial arts. The person he killed was Kai Gathering level 4. He killed him and helped me bury my parents. When he took me away, he was injured by the yin kai and had never recovered. He died a year later. Yimo nodded. Are you going to take me to the place your adoptive father was injured? Yes. Du Shoying immediately answered. After he was injured by the yin kai, he didn't have the strength to take me away. I was very young, but I knew it wasn't a place to stay, so I carried him away. But I was too young and couldn't go very far. At this moment, the enemies came again, and just when we were about to be killed, I was saved by my master. My master took us to the sect, but even my master couldn't cure my adoptive father. Your adoptive father died a year later? Yimo noticed something wrong and asked. Du Shoying nodded yes, but adoptive father called my master in before he died. He told my master to burn him instantly with inner fire. My master agreed. Yimo breathed easy and nodded. Your adoptive father is a very great man. Why are you fine since you went there too? Yimo looked at her in confusion. I didn't know at the time, but I realized later. It's probably because I have a pure yin body, Du Shoying said quietly. Due to her body, countless people wanted her in the sect. I didn't know at the time, but I realized later. It's probably because I have a pure yin body, Du Shoying said quietly. Due to her body, countless people wanted her in the sect. Yimo suddenly grabbed her wrist. Du Shoying didn't move as she knew Yimo was checking her body type. Indeed, a pure yin body. Yimo fell silent, but he had never heard of pure yin body being immune to evil yin kai. There must be another reason she was safe, but he couldn't really check her body. After my master left, I never had the opportunity to leave. This time, I can bury the ashes of my adoptive father with my parents. He isn't from Luo Yu continent. He died saving me. Du Shoying's tone was despondent. Your adoptive father wasn't from Luo Yu continent? Yimo asked in confusion. Du Shoying said, yes, he said he came from the magical continent, but it wasn't from any of Luo Yu's states. There, people cultivate ancient martial arts, not immortal cultivation. He said he came here was because there was a problem with the teleportation formation. He was teleported to a place called Shinjiao Mountain. He knew what it was, but he couldn't get out. After staying there for a few days, he went on another teleportation formation. He was just testing it, but it activated. What's your adoptive father's name? Yimo asked again. He's called Yun Dongxia. Yimo immediately remembered who this person was. He was Yun Zi's father, the association leader of Magical Commercial Association. The teleportation formation he took in the small world suddenly exploded. Yimo didn't expect him to go to Shinjiao Mountain and then Luo Yu continent. Meanwhile, Yun Zi asked him to help find her father, but he was actually long dead. Thinking about this, Yimo exclaimed, Yun Zi's Sword Valley was also annihilated and she was nowhere to be found. Yimo had decided to find Yun Zi when things were over and send her to Mo Yu City. Her disappearance was also related to him. Adoptive father said he has a daughter called Yun Zi, but I don't know where the magical continent is and I can't help him. Yimo fell silent and comforted after a while. Don't worry, cultivate hard and there will be a day when you meet each other. We're here. Blue Moon was too fast. Blue Moon landed at a place with little spirit Kai. There were thorns everywhere and very little vegetation. Du Xiuying pointed at the Ci mountain. Adoptive father took me from there. After this mountain is an icy river. He was hurt by the yin kai between the river and this road. Yimo saw that she only had a storage bag and no magic artifact, so he casually took out a storage ring and threw a few things inside. You can have this storage ring. I don't know your adoptive father but I know Yunzi, she's a friend. She just wanted to reject, but hearing Yimo knew Yunzi, she looked at Yimo in shock. City Lord Yi, you know Sister Z? Where is she? Yimo said sadly, she was a Sword Valley disciple but due to me, the Infinity Sect annihilated the Sword Valley and she went missing. No wonder you annihilated the Infinity Sect, Du Xiuying murmured and suddenly bowed to Yimo. Thank you for telling me Sister Z came to South Peace State, I'm going to find her now. Yimo waved his hand. Your power is not enough to roam South Peace State. Plus, there's great calamity in South Peace State now. Danger is everywhere. I will go find her after I'm done with things. If you trust me, go to Moyu City and cultivate. I believe with your talent it's not hard to reach truth realization state. When your power is high enough, if I still haven't found Yunzi, you can go find her. Du Xiuying calmed down and knew that everything Yimo said was true. Xiuying thanks City Lord Yi greatly. Du Xiuying knew that Yimo probably took her in due to his guilt over Yunzi. At the same time, she missed her adoptive father. He lost his life to save her, and now due to his daughter, she had a place to stay. If one day she was powerful, she would find Sister Z at all cost. If she couldn't, she would kill all who made her disappear. In order to strengthen her will, she put the storage ring on, but when she scanned her spirit sense inside, she took it off in shock. City Lord Yi, this is too precious. Even the magic artifacts were top-grade cultivation artifacts, much less the pills and spirit stones. Yimo waved his hand. Take it and cultivate hard. If I can't find Yunzi, you still need to find her. In the South Peace State, no power means no right to talk. Plus, these things don't mean much to me. After hesitating, Yimo took out a jade slip and gave it to her. This is a cultivation method written by a cultivator called Mengzhe, just cultivate that. Primordial Chaos Chant. Du Xiuying read the words. That's right. Yimo nodded, she would be much faster in cultivation if she cultivated this. Du Xiuying took it and didn't say any more. She knew it was pointless to say thank you now. Yimo saw this and was rather pleased. Her talent was top-notch and was very decisive. Her progress was on par with Su Jingwen. Plus, Yunzi had no family on Luoyu continent, he couldn't use all his efforts to search for her. Perhaps Du Xiuying was needed to find her. City Lord Yi. Yimo shook his head. I'm a little older than Z, just call me brother like her. Stand back, let me check here. Yes, brother Yi. She was worried about Yunzi, but meeting the City Lord of Moyu City was something one experienced only once in a lifetime. Even she was excited, more excited than she was at Yimo giving her top-grade cultivation artifact. Yimo searched carefully with his spirit sense. The area was large but Yimo's spirit sense was too powerful. In a short while, he had completely searched the place. This place seemed fine. Just when Yimo wanted to release Mist Lotus Heartfire to burn all the thorns, there was an explosion in one corner. A huge hole appeared out of nowhere and countless sand soul beasts swarmed out. There seemed to be more than the number that attacked the Fusion Joy sect. Yimo immediately realized that this was a top-grade illusion formation. The sand soul beasts were indeed below the Ci mountain. When the sand soul beasts left, the illusion formation immediately recovered, turning everything into thorns. Seeing so many sand soul beasts pop out, Du Xiuying didn't know what to do. Seeing this, Yimo immediately knew that the previous round was just the herald. Luckily he came in time, or else there might be more sand soul beasts here than the demon prison forbidden grounds. Before Du Xiuying could react, Yimo took her to the entrance of the illusion formation. At the same time, Zishu was released. The million sand soul beasts were instantly slaughtered clean by Yimo. Yimo released a few formation flags and sealed this entrance. Before Du Xiaoying could react, Yimo took her to the entrance of the illusion formation. At the same time, Zishu was released. The million sand soul beasts were instantly slaughtered clean by Yimo. Yimo released a few formation flags and sealed this entrance. Then, Yimo turned to her and said, "I'm going down to annihilate them. There should be a few 100 million down there. Leave first, you can go directly to Mo Yu City." Du Xiaoying opened her mouth and wanted to say something but eventually didn't. She nodded and said okay. Yimo didn't mind and set up a few trap formation and disappeared into the illusion formation. Du Xiaoying didn't understand formation and could only retreat to the outskirts of the Ci mountain. She didn't go to Mo Yu City like she was told. Hearing there were a few 100 million sand soul beasts, she was worried about Yimo but couldn't say it. Thus, she could only wait here. After entering, Yimo immediately saw a seal. It was the same type of seal as the ones in the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. Clearly, it was set by the same person. Yimo immediately thought of Lu Zhengquan, but he didn't break the seal and go inside. Instead he started to study it. It was very high level and not something a level 9 formation grandmaster could set up. But Yimo had seen this type so many times. He checked it and immediately knew his guess was right. This seal was suddenly activated, meaning that it was activated before the timer set. It seemed him taking the sapling really pissed off that guy in the immortal realm. That guy probably couldn't come down, so he had to activate the seal. Yimo broke the seal without hesitation and set up a new seal. Then, he went inside along the seal. This place was just like the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. There was a sand stairway leading down. As soon as Yimo got on the stairs, a few 100 sand soul beasts surrounded him. Yimo slaughtered his way down. In a short while, countless sand soul beasts had died to his sword. When Yimo got down the stairs, he saw a blue rock road leading into the distance and dazed. Wasn't this the blue rock road behind the demon prison 3 birth bridge? When he took the seal flag and the road disappeared, Yimo had a strong feeling that the place was dangerous to him and he couldn't keep staying. So, he took Jing Yingli and left without hesitation. He even sealed that place. How come he saw the blue rock path here? Was this the other side of it? Yimo suddenly felt this skin crawling. He knew this road was probably an illusion, but no matter how he looked at it, it really extended into the distance. Countless sand soul beasts emerged from the end of the road. Yimo stayed on the last step and didn't go down. His next step would be on the Bluestone Road, but he felt the road was too eerie. Even though he didn't go down, there seemed to be an endless calling from the other side of the road. It seemed to be a familiar voice one moment, but then completely strange another moment. It was an unfamiliar voice. That calling wanted him to quickly get on the road and keep going forward. Yimo forced his brain to stay awake. He believed that if it was some other person, he would have crippled already. If there weren't sand soul beasts there, Yimo would leave without hesitation and seal it like the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. But now, he couldn't go, he had to annihilate them all. Who knew if they could pop out from some other place? The safest way was to kill him all. The howls and screams of the sand soul beasts mixed as they charged at Yimo, completely surrounding him. Yimo released Zishu and started the carnage. Yimo completely stopped the sand soul beasts from coming onto the stairs. But as he killed more, the less Yimo cared. All he knew was to release purple sword rays like crazy as he killed the sand soul beasts. Eventually, Yimo completely forgot what he was doing. He was just slaughtering sand soul beasts like a machine. He completely didn't notice that he had long come off the stairs and stood on the Bluestone Road. He killed his way over. There were countless sand soul beasts' bodies around him. Now, Yimo was just waving Zishu frantically, but the sand soul beasts around him were all dead. However, his eyes were red and he had no intentions of stopping. When his cultivation essence ran out, he took out pills without hesitation and even took out immortal crystals. Then, he waved Zishu around space that had no sand soul beasts. Rumble. After absorbing immortal crystals, Yimo felt his meridians about to explode. A powerful immortal spirit Kai charged into his Dan Tian. This made him wake up momentarily. Yimo shivered and went into the golden page world without hesitation. Truth realization state level 8. The instant he reached truth realization state level 8, he woke up and went into the golden page world. If he didn't have the golden page world, he would fall into that crazy state once again. So powerful, Yimo was shook. He finally knew the power of immortals. He didn't even fight them, and that person just set a formation here and he almost died. Yimo sat next to the bitter bamboo and exerted out the evil yin kai inside his body. A dark grey mist emitted out of his body and was burned by the mist lotus heart fire. Half a day later, Yimo was completely awake. He threw out a surveillance formation. There was endless piles of bodies but no blue stone road nor stairway. This meant that he had long gone off the stairs and went onto the road. If he didn't have a lot of immortal crystals and reached truth realization state level 8, he would have lost himself already. Yimo checked his immortal crystals quickly. He had used up nearly 200 immortal crystals in that go. This was too scary. In this place, Yimo didn't dare to take out bitter bamboo leaf. He didn't want the bitter bamboo kai to leak out. Yimo came out carefully and found that the blue rock road appeared again. Yimo shivered and was ready to go into the golden page world at any time. Then he released Zishu and checked around carefully. He didn't know where he came from. He couldn't scan the end of the road ahead and behind him. This was the first time Yimo had seen an illusion formation this terrifying. He didn't know whether to go forward or backward. Yimo retreated 2 steps and suddenly saw a huge stone tablet on the side of the road. It had the bloody words Blue Rock Netherworld Road. Yimo immediately thought of the 3-berth bridge and he was furious. He released Zishu and hacked on the stone tablet. Seeing that Zishu was about to strike it, Yimo suddenly had an extremely bad feeling and he forcefully stopped the strike and moved it to the side. With this, there was a powerful backlash and he spat blood out. Yimo waved his hand and the blood turned to mist. The purple sword rays slid past the stone tablet and onto the Blue Rock Road. It immediately splattered apart. Seeing this, Yimo was confused. This blue road didn't seem to be an illusion. Yimo calmed down instead. He only had one thought and that was to leave. Whether it was to help the J2 gang temple monks or his current power, he couldn't stay here. Yimo couldn't see through this illusion formation despite being level 9 formation Grand Master Peak. Yimo couldn't see through this illusion formation despite being level 9 formation Grand Master Peak. Yimo was planning to choose a direction based on his sixth sense and find the end of the pile of sand soul beasts' bodies. That should be where he came in. But when he was about to choose, he found that both direction had this calling for him to go over. Yimo settled his mind and didn't dare to think about it. His gaze fell upon the shattered road. The reason he didn't hack the tablet was because he had the feeling that he must not do that. If Yimo didn't guess wrong, all this was set up by Lu Zhengquan. He knew the sapling was taken but he didn't come down. It's not that the sapling wasn't important but he couldn't come down. Thus he released the sand soul beasts. He was probably prepared to come down a few hundred years later. It was best to find the way that Guy would come back and block that road. Yimo shook his head. He knew that was probably very hard. He moved his gaze to the tablet. It just appeared there suddenly and gave him an impulse to destroy it. This definitely didn't come from his heart, it was affected by the illusion formation. This was very abnormal. Why did the illusion formation want him to destroy it? Even with his firm mental state, he almost fell for it. At this moment, Yimo found that the blue stone road disappeared once again. He was just standing on fine sand and there were endless sand soul beasts' bodies here. However, the shattered pieces of the road didn't disappear. The stone tablet was still derelict in the sands. Yimo was very calm this time. Just when Yimo wanted to take a piece of the blue rock into his golden page world to study if it was real or an illusion, he saw a piercing light shine before him. He subconsciously took a few steps back and a round light pillar appeared on the rock he hacked. Yimo had a bad feeling and wanted to release Zishu to hack that pillar but he heard a laughter. A golden-robed cultivator appeared and then light pillar disappeared. Yimo found that those blue rock pieces had turned grey. Hollow immortal? Yimo saw this cultivator's cultivation essence wave was completely different to his but quite similar to that Cheng Sheng. The golden cultivator looked coldly at Yimo and a blue run appeared on him. Then, he released a green spear. He shook his hands and the spear turned into a green strand. Yimo saw this strand wasn't coming for him but the Netherworld Road stone tablet. He immediately had a very bad feeling. Without hesitation, he hacked out Zishu with full power blocking the attack. Rumble. In a huge explosion, purple and green rays splashed everywhere. Clear void fissures appeared in the space. Tens of space wind blades shot out. Yimo wouldn't even care if they hit him, it wouldn't even tear open his armor, but at this moment, Yimo had the feeling he should dodge these space wind blades. Without hesitation, he dodged those space wind blades and stood before the stone tablet. He just shattered a blue rock and a hollow immortal was teleported here. What would happen if he shattered the stone tablet? The golden-robed cultivator was surprised to see Yimo not sent flying after clashing with him. Since when was there such a powerful cultivator in the cultivation realm? Even though his power was suppressed a little in the cultivation realm and couldn't use his full power, but he was still a hollow immortal. Even though his cultivation essence didn't completely convert to immortal essence, he was still an immortal. No wonder you dare to touch Master's thing, so you think you're strong, the golden-robed cultivator sneered. Yimo asked heavily, if it because I shattered a blue rock and thus you came down? The golden-robed cultivator said calmly, you're not dumb. On account of your power, if you're willing to serve the Heaven Lord and hand over what does not belong to you, perhaps the Heaven Lord Master will consider letting you live. Yimo said, why do you want to smash this tablet as soon as you come down? Would there be more powerful people coming down then? The golden-robed cultivator sneered, that's not something you should care about. Do you agree or disagree? Keep dreaming. If you want to be Lu Zhongquan's dog, it's your business. Don't bring me into it. Yimo sneered. Yimo was testing. He wasn't certain if this was related to Lu Zhongquan. So you did it, kid. Why did Cheng Sheng die? Did you take it? The golden-robed cultivator showed a cruel look as though he was about to tear Yimo apart. Yimo released a low-grade cultivation artifact shield and said in contempt, if you want to fight then fight, cut the talk. Hearing this, the golden-robed cultivator, furious, a mere truth realization state level 8, dared to say this to him. His spear brought a green flame and struck at Yimo. Before the spear arrived, the flame already burned space, cracking. To him, that low-grade cultivation artifact shield was like nothing. His spear flame could easily melt it. This strike was much more powerful than his previous strike. Yimo could the dominating force of the spear, and it seemed all the space around him was under this space. However, Yimo had a strange feeling. This strike surpassed all the cultivators Yimo had ever fought, and it gave him this sudden enlightenment. Zishu hacked out, but this time, it didn't have any purple ray. At the start, the golden-robed cultivator was sneering. He knew Yimo was not bad to be able to block his casual attack, but this wasn't his casual attack. Moments later, his face changed. Yimo's strike brought a killing force around him, that endless killing intent swept at him. It was an ordinary strike at the beginning, but when he felt the killing force and killing intent of the strike had formed its sword force. That powerful force seemed to point at his weakest spot. He was a hollow immortal cultivator, and yet he showed fear towards a truth realization state cultivator. The golden-robed cultivator was ashamed. He released a brick-shaped defense magic artifact without hesitation. The spear attacked even faster. He was going to kill Yimo before his sword force was completed. Even if he couldn't kill Yimo, Yimo had to defend against it. The brick magic artifact instantly turned to 10-meter size and completely protected the hollow immortal. Yimo's strike had to bypass this golden brick no matter what. Yimo was expressionless. The sword force and killing intent of Zishu was growing stronger and stronger. He had a feeling that this strike was completely different to illusion cloud sword technique. But his desire to this strike was extremely strong. Yimo was going to hack it down no matter what. The golden-robed cultivator had a very bad feeling, but the only thing he could do was activate his spear faster. Crack! The spear hit the low-grade cultivation artifact, and it was like a cracked open like dried paper. The golden-robed cultivator rejoiced. He knew Yimo was over. There was no way Yimo could live being burned by the green flame. But when the golden-robed cultivator saw that Yimo still had no intentions of dodging, he had a bad feeling, but he didn't know what exactly it was. Yimo should be trying to avoid it at all costs and not try to attack him. Rumble. Zishu hacked onto the golden brick, and the purple ray that didn't come out finally activated when Zishu struck the golden brick. Thud. The golden-robed cultivator's green spear struck Yimo at the same time. Green flame spilled and the flame instantly engulfed Yimo. The instant his green spear pierced Yimo, the golden-robed cultivator knew he was tricked. Yimo's body was on par with low-grade immortal artifact, and with his cultivation essence protection, his green spear only pierced a few centimeters and was stuck in the bone. The instant his green spear pierced Yimo, the golden-robed cultivator knew he was tricked. Yimo's body was on par with low-grade immortal artifact, and with his cultivation essence protection, his green spear only pierced a few centimeters and was stuck in the bone. What shocked him the most was that Yimo was unaffected by the green flame, but soon, he realized what was going on. A faint purple flame rose about Yimo's body, completely separating the green flame. It even started to devour the green flame. Purple mist lotus heartfire, the golden-robed cultivator called out in shock. He completely didn't believe that a cultivation realm cultivator had a purple heaven flame. The most powerful cultivation realm cultivator he saw had an aqua heaven flame, but now he saw purple heaven flame. A lot of immortal realm cultivators didn't even have this. Yimo had gone through the torture of body refinement. The damage of the spear would be unbearable to ordinary cultivators, but Yimo didn't seem to feel it. He inserted his cultivation essence like crazy into Zishu. Crack. When purple sword rays splashed, a crack opened on the purple brick but quickly reduced in size. Splurge. The brick was hacked away, but Yimo's sword light didn't stop. It sliced down from the golden-robed cultivator's shoulder. Blood flashed and the golden-robed cultivator's shoulder was sliced off. Before it fell to the ground, the purple sword rays twisted the arm into a bloody mist. The golden-robed cultivator retreated a few steps in a pale face. He knew that it wasn't he couldn't beat Yimo, but he was tricked. When he saw that his sword couldn't pierce Yimo deeper, he knew Yimo definitely was a god-state body refinement. A truth realization state level 8 who was this young and also a god-state body refinement. This would be extremely shocking even in the immortal realm, but he had to encounter it. If Yimo wasn't a body refinement cultivator, that spear strike would have turned him into a bloody mist already. You're indeed very cunning. No wonder Cheng Sheng would die to you. The golden-robed cultivator glared at Yimo with fiery eyes. If possible, he would have eaten Yimo alive now. He was a hollow immortal, but he was injured by a truth realization state cultivator. This was a huge insult. Yimo ate a pill and ignored the hollow immortal's words. He felt regretful that he couldn't fully learn that new move as the instant he was pierced by the spear, that feeling disappeared. Pity, you have no chance now. The golden-robed cultivator flung a black jade bottle into the air and spat some essence blood towards it. He used some hand signs and said softly, "Enter samsara." The black word samsara flew out of the jade bottle and gradually grew big until it covered all the space around here. A bleak wind started to rise, creating this faint whimpering sound. Suddenly, a temple appeared before Yimo, and inside he held a charred bun. When he was about to eat it, the bun disappeared and an old man appeared before him. Ordinary spirit root, but he can be a pill concoction child at magical herb sect. The old man smiled and touched his head. Yimo's heart was shook. He quickly used the 3-birth chant and woke up from it. He immediately knew this was a magic artifact to catalyze a heart demon tribulation, but this golden-robed cultivator used it on the wrong person. He cultivated the 3-birth chant and had the bitter bamboo. If he wasn't inside this illusion formation, he wouldn't begin that thought. Seeing Yimo daze, the golden-robed cultivator pressed his hand and the word was about to press on Yimo's head. But at this moment, Yimo suddenly opened his eyes and smiled at the golden-robed cultivator. The golden-robed cultivator instantly realized that Yimo wasn't controlled by his samsara bottle. His face was shook. He didn't expect Yimo was this absurdly powerful. The reason he wanted to break the tablet was not because he was scared of Yimo, but the master ordered him. The master was going to come down personally and the tablet must be broken. Now, he realized Yi Mo wasn't someone he could deal with. The golden-robed cultivator pulled down the rune from his body without hesitation. He didn't even take back his jade bottle. But before he could, Zishu already hacked out. The golden-robed cultivator instantly felt he was bound by his surroundings. He rushed his immortal essence out like crazy, wanting the laws of this realm to take him away. If he didn't try to run and use Dhis Green Spear, he might be able to fight with Yi Mo for a while and find a chance to run away. But now, it was impossible to leave from Yi Mo's domain. Quite many times people have escaped from Yi Mo due to immortal ascension. How could he not be alert now? Illusion Cloud Domain Kill Strike struck out. Yi Mo's domain connected with the sword domain, making the golden-robed cultivator even slower. But with the use of his immortal essence, he broke free from Yi Mo's domain in less than a second. Sometimes, 1 second was very long and sometimes very short. For Yi Mo, this second was enough. At this moment, the golden-robed cultivator realized his biggest mistake was to try and run immediately. But he realized too late and that door-sized purple ray struck him. Blood mist sprayed out and at the same time, Yi Mo summoned Shadowless. Shadowless dashed at the fleeing essence spirit instantly. This was a hollow immortal essence spirit. Yi Mo was worried if it would be too much for Shadowless, but he already devoured it and flew shakily towards Yi Mo. Yi Mo quickly sent Shadowless Bark into the Golden Page world before grabbing the broken brick and samsara bottle. Then, he picked up the green flame spear. However, Yi Mo was confused that he didn't see a storage ring. He didn't know if it was that it couldn't be brought down or something. If he got the storage ring of a hollow immortal, there would be quite some immortal crystals from there. Yi Mo sealed these things. He needed to quickly find a way out. What was this stone tablet? Why did the golden-robed cultivator want to break it immediately? Yi Mo walked to the stone tablet and the more he looked at it the more it seemed strange. Yi Mo waved his hand wanting to take it into his Golden Page world to study, but then he realized that his spirit sense that could move mountain ranges couldn't move this stone tablet. If this stone tablet was broken, would more powerful cultivators come down? Thinking about this, Yi Mo thought if Lu Zhengquan came down, he would definitely annihilate the entire Luoyu continent. Yi Mo took out the time formation disc. This was the first time he took it out. He didn't have that much time, but if he didn't study this stone tablet, he couldn't leave this place feeling secure. Soon, the time formation disc started spinning rapidly surrounding Yi Mo and the tablet inside. A month later, Yi Mo put away the time formation disc with a face full of fatigue. He had completely understood what it was now. It was the formation heart of the illusion formation, but something like the fish jump through Dragon Gate. There was a rune inside the tablet and even Yi Mo didn't care what it was, but it was definitely top-grade thing from the immortal realm. The restriction inside the tablet would explode after a set time and the rune would be activated. Then, a teleportation pillar would form. The endless blue stone road was just an illusion formation formed by 7 blue stone rocks. There were still 6 left. Each one had a rune inside, but the rune seemed dimmer in color. Knowing this, how could Yi Mo leave a ticking time bomb here? Yi Mo started to set up formation and in half an hour, the tablet was easily taken into his Golden Page world. He sealed it inside his Golden Page world. Yi Mo started to set up formation and in half an hour, the tablet was easily taken into his Golden Page world. He sealed it inside his Golden Page world. With that gone, the view before him brightened up. His spirit sense easily scanned to where he came in before. Yi Mo breathed easy and quickly went back to the stairs, completely sealing this place before exiting. He had killed all the sand soul beasts and took the stone tablet. He killed the hollow immortal sent by that Lu Zhengquan. Yi Mo thought that that guy was probably jumping around in fury. This guy was so evil, wanting to annihilate an entire cultivation realm, but he didn't have the power to fight him right now. When his power reached that level, Lu Zhengquan could only wait to die. He wasn't going to let such a go out. As soon as Yi Mo came out, he saw Du Xiuying sitting on the ground and asked in shock, "Why haven't you left yet?" Then, Yi Mo immediately saw a body not far from her and the messy grounds. Clearly, there was an intense battle. Du Shouying's face was pale and she seemed to have received some injuries. It was a dead young female cultivator. Yimo could tell that Du Shouying killed her as she gave her 2 level 9 ice arrow runes. He forgot whose storage ring he got that from and he didn't need to use it, so he gave it to Du Shouying. Du Shouying saw Yimo come out and got up in joy. "Brother Yi, you're finally out. What's going on?" Yimo asked, but before Du Shouying could reply, 2 dashing lights came here instantly. There was 1 truth realization state cultivator and 1 hollow spirit state level 4. That truth realization state was truth realization state level 9. "Who dares to kill my disciple?" the truth realization state's furious voice sounded. His face was quite dark. Yimo scanned them and signaled Du Shouying to continue talking. Du Shouying knew Yimo's power and felt safe. She pointed at the hollow spirit state level 4 who just came. "I was spirit controlling the flying magic artifact and that cultivator and the dead female cultivator came. After discussion, one of them wanted my flying magic artifact, the other wanted to," Yimo realized. He gave her top-grade flying cultivation artifact and the 2 cultivators came. Seeing she was so beautiful, they decided to gang up on her. The female definitely wanted the top-grade cultivation artifact and the male cultivator probably wanted her body and storage ring. But they didn't expect the things Yimo gave her was too powerful. Du Shouying easily killed one with ice arrow rune and the other could only run. The truth realization state level 9 saw Yimo standing next to Du Shouying and studied Yimo. He found he didn't know Yimo at all. But he didn't fight immediately and stared coldly at Yimo. "Don't you think you're lowering yourself to kill my hollow spirit state sect members?" Yimo sneered. He couldn't even be bothered replying. If this truth realization state wanted to fight, he would kill him immediately. He even killed hollow immortals. Why would he care about this truth realization state level 9? The 2 cultivators had a very dense water kai. Yimo guessed they came from the Heartless Sea. The hollow spirit state level 4 quickly said, "Master, the woman killed her." How could the truth realization state cultivator not know this? But Yimo's power was quite similar to his. He wanted Yimo to show some resolution, but Yimo couldn't even be bothered talking to him and he was furious. He said to Du Shouying, "Kill yourself, I'll leave you with a whole body." Du Shouying rebuked without hesitation. "I was spirit controlling my magic artifact and your disciple came to rob it. Am I not allowed to retaliate? Our cultivation home is here. This land all belongs to us. You were cultivating on here. Are we not allowed to kick you away?" the hollow spirit state level 4 said ferociously. He thought that with his master here, those 2 cultivators would certainly die. Hearing such unreasonable words, Du Shouying was so angry she didn't say anything. Yimo frowned. Why would a truth realization state level 9 suddenly take his disciple to here to open a cultivation home and cultivate? The spirit kai here was so scarce. Seeing that Yimo seemed to be backing out and didn't argue back, the truth realization state level 9 felt more confident. He said coldly to Du Shouying, "If you kill someone, you need to pay with your life. You have 10 seconds, otherwise I will do it. You will turn into bloody mist." Yimo suddenly said, "Killing needs one to pay with her life, regardless of right or wrong, correct?" "That's right, in my eyes, she needs to pay with her life, so what if it was my disciple's fault? How can that bitch compare with my disciple? Just because you're truth realization state level 8, don't think you have a right to talk with me. If you piss me off, you will have to pay too." He felt that Yimo's tone seemed to be weakening, so he was getting more and more impolite. Yimo smiled and suddenly waved his hand. A wind blade shot out. The hollow spirit state level 4 was sliced into a blood mist before he could react. Even the truth realization state level 9 couldn't react. Then Yimo looked at the truth realization state level 9 and said, "I killed your royal disciple. That should have angered you too, right? And I've talked so much to you. Hurry up and let me pay with my life." Du Shouying couldn't hold in her laughter. Seeing this, the dark-faced truth realization state was extremely shook. He could tell that Yimo's power would only be higher than his. He immediately released a grey skull flag and stared at Yimo. "Who are you?" Yimo ignored his words and didn't even release his magic artifact. He asked with his hands behind his back, "Your cultivation home is near here?" The cultivator subconsciously nodded. That's right. Then he felt his tone was weak and raised his voice. Who the hell are you? I know all the famous cultivators in South Peace State, there's no one as young as you. Hearing this, Emo knew this cultivator hadn't been to South Peace State for a long time or he wouldn't say such a thing. Do you have some secret for building a cultivation home here? Emo asked. You're asking to die. The black cultivator raised his flag. Moments later, the sky near here darkened. Countless skulls flew out of the flag. Du Xiaoying subconsciously shivered. She felt shivering cold. She was a pure yin body type, but even she couldn't deal with such coldness. Yimo sneered and took a step forward. Zishu hacked out. Purple flight flashed and all the black bones were hacked back into the flag. The sky brightened up again. The black-faced cultivator's face changed. He had seen many people use all sorts of ways to counter his flag, but none like Yimo who just hacked out like that. Just one move and the black-faced cultivator immediately knew he definitely was no match for Yimo. His first reaction was to take the skull banner and run. Just one move and the black-faced cultivator immediately knew he definitely was no match for Yimo. His first reaction was to take the skull banner and run. But when he was about to run, he was shocked to find that Yimo's domain had reached a state that was cast at will. It easily broke his domain and bound him. He would need at least a few seconds to break free from this domain, and in this time he could die countless deaths. Don't kill me, I'll say it, the truth realization state level 9 called out quickly. The activated sword ray stopped above his head, spitting out rays. If the cultivator said it 1 second later, he would have been sliced open by this sword beam. There was a sliver of joy in his heart, not because this cultivator was willing to talk, but because he could stop Zishu according to will. Before, he had to forcefully stop his full-powered attack which caused a backlash. But now, he could stop Zishu at will. This gave Yimo a sense of enlightenment. He felt he was about to grasp something. Friend, I'm willing to say it, please put away your sword beam. The 10-meter-long sword beam was scaring the truth realization state cultivator. He was scared Yimo would shake his hand and cut him open. Yimo sighed, his enlightenment was interrupted again. This made him annoyed and he yelled, hurry up then, I don't have time to play with you. Yes. The truth realization state cultivator quickly said, my martial ancestor left behind a flying sword seal before his immortal ascension. If the flying sword seal breaks, it meant that the fortune of our sect has come and I'm to find sand soul beasts at the CI mountain. Suddenly, the truth realization state cultivator stopped. Yimo wanted to ask him why and suddenly felt something was wrong with him. There was a look of extreme terror, more terror than when he was about to be killed before. Yimo covered him and Du Xiaoying with the octagonal cauldron without hesitation. And break the netherworld, as though knowing he was tricked, he desperately tried to say the last words but he completely exploded before he finished. Rumble this self-destruction was enough to completely erase nearly 3 kilometers of land. After the explosion, Yimo put away the octagonal cauldron and Du Xiaoying saw that only her and Yimo stood in this perimeter. He was willing to say it, why self-destruct? Du Xiaoying asked in shock. Things probably aren't so simple, Yimo seemed to be murmuring to himself. Yimo guessed that either in his bloodline or cultivation method, an extremely cruel restriction was set. If one revoked it, they would self-destruct. This thing definitely had something that stopped the sand soul beasts from attacking him, but now that he self-destructed, all clues were gone. Yimo really wanted to go to this person's sect and see what their martial ancestors' relationship with Lu Zhengquan was. How long was I been down there? Yimo asked. 8 days. Du Xiaoying quickly replied. Oh shit. Yimo said and released Blue Moon, taking her quickly away. Qian Wei told him he could last for 7 days, but this was the 8th day now. Ice Sword Sect and Golden Sword Sect had quite similar names, but the difference in power between the two was immeasurable. Ice Sword Sect was just a 5-star sect, but Golden Sword Sect was an 8-star sect. With the Truth Spirit pills provided by Flowing Snake City, Golden Sword Sect would reach 9 stars in a matter of time. Appearing above the Golden Sword Sect, Du Xiaoying was completely dazed. She thought the scene at Fusion Joy Sect was horrendous enough, but now she completely changed her mind. Ice Sword Sect was just a 5-star sect, but they had nearly 1,000 kilometers of land. Now, the sect was completely unseen. There were only spirit-devouring bugs before their eyes for over 1,000 kilometers. With this many, so what even if an immortal came? Du Xiaoying shivered but found that as they stopped, countless of them had swarmed over. Even Yimo's skin was crawling. With this many, how could Qian Wei stop them? Even he would have to run if he didn't have Heaven Flame 9 Suns. Many of these bugs had devoured cultivator essence blood and reached higher levels. How many cultivators would be needed to annihilate all these spirit-devouring bugs? Yimo took a cold breath in. If Lu Zhengquan set this up, just what did he want to do? Even the sand soul beasts could annihilate the cultivation realm. Why send all these spirit-devouring bugs? If the South Peace State was like this, what about North Far State, West Extreme State, and East Black State? Wouldn't they be annihilated already? Brother Yi, Du Xiaoying was shaking. She didn't feel that scared seeing the sand soul beasts, but the spirit-devouring bugs made her completely frightened. Then, Du Xiaoying vomited. The terrifying smell and look of the spirit-devouring bugs made her unable to control her disgust. Yimo knew that she really didn't have the courage to keep staying here. The spirit-devouring bugs here were too many and too scary. The reason Yimo didn't attack immediately was because he was trying to find Qian Wei with his spirit sense. Soon, Yimo had a joyful look. He saw at the heart of the sect there was a big golden bell. Countless spirit-devouring bugs were hustled there biting the bell, which was covered in craters. But Yimo was shocked to find that the bell was a low-grade immortal artifact. If these bugs could even eat a low-grade immortal artifact, what else in the cultivation realm could they not eat? Yimo knew that Qian Wei and them were probably inside the bell. If he came just half a day later, the bell would have disappeared. Du Xiaoying still wanted to talk, but Yimo waved his hand and a purple sun was released. It hung in the sky releasing waves of purple beams. They quickly fell and scattered from a radius of 10 meters to tens of kilometers. Yimo's face went pale. During his solitary cultivation, although the Heaven Flame 9 Suns changed to purple color and his spirit sense also drastically increased due to the spirit nourishing well, he still couldn't stand the use of Heaven Flame 9 Suns. If it was a radius of a few kilometers he could last longer, but this tens of kilometers radius made it a great struggle for him. Yimo knew that these bugs were different than the sand soul beasts. He had to annihilate all the spirit-devouring bugs without a 1,000-kilometer radius. Otherwise, they would run away, and that would be a huge disaster. Almost all the spirit-devouring bugs melted to smoke as soon as the sun shone upon them. Du Xiaoying had never seen this, and seeing that the bugs couldn't even last a few seconds, she immediately rejoiced. There was a sudden impulse in her heart. She couldn't describe what it was. When she moved her eyes to Yimo, she was very shocked. Yimo's face was getting more and more pale. White mist was coming out of his body. Clearly, he had been trying his best. Du Xiaoying wanted to talk, but at this moment she realized she couldn't disturb Yimo. However, Yimo suddenly left Blue Moon. Then, she saw Yimo burn his way over. The purple sun above his head shone out countless purple rays. The rays were like fire and turned billions of spirit-devouring bugs to dust. Du Xiaoying's spirit sense followed Yimo and soon found that the purple sun increased to a bigger range. Then, she saw Yimo burn his way over. The purple sun above his head shone out countless purple rays. The rays were like fire and turned billions of spirit-devouring bugs to dust. Du Xiaoying's spirit sense followed Yimo and soon found that the purple sun increased to a bigger range. It increased to nearly 100 kilometers and Yimo's face went from pale to red instead. Du Xiaoying's heart clenched, she knew that Yimo was heavily injured. Soon, she realized why Yimo expanded the sun. It was because some of them started to run. However, Yimo was getting faster and faster and his sun getting hotter and hotter. In less than half an hour, the heaven-filling spirit-devouring bugs loosened up and disappeared. When Yimo circulated the 1,000 kilometers around Ice Sword Sect and finally came before Blue Moon, he couldn't help falling to the ground. The purple sun shrunk and landed before falling onto Yimo's head and disappearing. There were only about a few thousand spirit-devouring bugs above in the sky. This wasn't enough to threaten a sect. A slightly higher-powered cultivator would be enough to kill these spirit-devouring bugs. Du Xiaoying quickly controlled Blue Moon to land next to Yimo and help protect him. She was very worried. She knew that no one would come harm Yimo now, but she was still worried. She had seen what Yimo did and knew what he meant to South Peace State. Without Yimo, just those sand soul beasts were enough to flip South Peace State over. Sometimes, the more one worried about something, the more it would happen. Although there were only about a few thousand bugs left and theoretically they should have flew off, they didn't. Instead, they gathered together. Just when Du Xiaoying didn't know what was going on, she heard a sharp shriek. This time, she saw what it was. It was a spirit-devouring bug, but it was so much bigger than the rest. It was completely red and 10 times the size of the rest. Then, it charged at Yimo. Du Xiaoying was shook and quickly released her flying sword, hacking at the bug. She thought with her hollow spirit state middle stage power, she could easily kill a bug. But the clash of metal sounded and Du Xiaoying's heart sunk. Her flying sword not only didn't kill the bug but was instead knocked flying away. The bug ignored her and instead charged rapidly at Yimo as though it wouldn't stop unless it killed Yimo. The few thousand bugs also followed this huge spirit-devouring bug. She quickly set up a shield, but at this moment, she heard another shriek. A figure her spirit sense didn't even notice charged at Yimo. Meanwhile, the spirit-devouring bugs quickly crippled hearing this sound. However, that black figure didn't stop there. It charged up fast like lightning. Everywhere it went, spirit-devouring bugs disappeared. Only now did Du Xiaoying see clearly what it was. It seemed to be pea-sized. How did it eat so many bugs that were much larger than it? Finally, this angered the largest bug. It charged at the black figure without fear while the black figure did the same. The two figures clashed together, creating the sound of metal clashing. Then Du Xiaoying heard a crunching sound. But at this moment, Yimo got up and Du Xiaoying immediately came up to him. "Are you okay?" Yimo smiled. "Thanks for protecting me, I've recovered a lot." That round of Heaven Flame 9 Suns was too exhausting. Although it was impossible to completely recover this quickly, Yimo recovered 30% of his power. Du Xiaoying's face went red. She didn't help at all. She couldn't even beat a bug. But Yimo didn't say anything. He yelled at the black figure, "Don't eat in such a disgusting way, hurry up." Then, Du Xiaoying realized that the small pea-sized thing had already eaten the big spirit-devouring bug. Then, the black bug shot in a line and disappeared into Yimo's hand. After a while, Du Xiaoying asked in a daze, "Brother Yi, that's your bug? You keep bugs?" She suddenly shivered and imagined a scene where countless of these black bugs circulated Yimo and they were all kept by Yimo. Yimo nodded. "Yes, this is my bug." The spirit-devouring bug before didn't fear Shadowless because it was possessed. It's probably a cultivator who had enmity with me, so its instinct was to charge at me. Otherwise, all those spirit-devouring bugs would have escaped. Yimo looked at the bell in confusion. Why doesn't the old monk come out? Is he planning to celebrate New Year inside? Then, Yimo walked over at the ditched bell. Yimo reached out his cultivation essence giant hand and opened the bell and found Chen Wei was more heavily injured than him. His face was pale like paper. The rest of the people were also heavily depleted in spirit sense and cultivation essence. There were about 100 or so people inside. Other than 7 monks, the rest were probably Ice Sword sect cultivators. However, this sect had mostly female cultivator. Yimo realized that they used all their spirit sense and cultivation essence to activate the bell, that they didn't even have the power left to open it. This old monk had quite the luck. If he was close to the monk, Yimo would have joked already. "Thank you, City Lord Yi. I'm ashamed. I thought I would be able to stop the spirit-devouring bugs, but they were endless. I wasn't even able to survive for a day. We completely relied on the treasure of the Jin Gang Temple to survive. City Lord Yi's power is out of the world. Reaching immortal state, I'm really amazed." Chen Wei sighed. Yimo knew that the old monk was sighing because the bell was ruined and also because they didn't have someone like him in the temple. Some of the Ice Sword sect members who recovered their senses came over to thank Emo. They were covered by the bell, but their spirit sense could scan outside. No one could stay calm at the sight of Emo using Heaven Flame 9 Suns to instantly annihilate countless bugs. Now, no one doubted that Emo killed 11 truth realization state cultivators in a row. Emo himself could count for a few hundred truth realization states. Even if a few hundred truth realization states came, they might not be able to annihilate so many spirit-devouring bugs. Emo took out recovery pills and let Du Shouying spread them out. When Qian Wei recovered a little, he asked him, "Sect leader Qian Wei, why are there only this number of cultivators in the Ice Sword sect? Were the rest devoured by the bugs?" Qian Wei sighed. Many wanted to use Earth mobility to leave, but none escaped. "I made the promise before, and yet today I accomplished nothing, and I still needed City Lorgie to save me. I'm really..." Qian Wei was a competitive person as a 9-star sect's head monk. However, he felt a little disappointed that the difference between them was this huge. Emo had a great impression of this monk. He shook his head and said, "Sect leader Qian Wei, you've helped a lot. If it wasn't for you being here, I'm afraid more sects would have been annihilated." The bugs had some intellect and saw nearly 100 cultivators hiding in the bell. They stopped to finish the bell off. The bugs had some intellect and saw nearly 100 cultivators hiding in the bell. They stopped to finish the bell off. The bugs were communal insects, so when most of the bugs stayed here, the rest stayed too. Qian Wei drew countless spirit-devouring bugs here, allowing Emo to have the time to annihilate the sand soul beasts first. Seeing Qian Wei still feeling embarrassed, Emo didn't explain and saluted with his fists. "Sect leader Qian Wei, I'm going to the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds." Then, Emo looked at Du Shouying. "Let sect leader Qian Wei send you back to Moyu City." Du Shouying clearly didn't want to go back. She saw Emo annihilate the sand soul beasts and how Emo instantly annihilated countless spirit-devouring bugs. She clearly wanted to go to the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds. Perhaps one day, she would be the only person to see Emo save the South Peace State from great calamity all by himself. How could she want to miss such opportunity? But she didn't have an excuse to go. Just when Du Shouying wanted to find an excuse, Qian Wei suddenly said, "City Lorgie, I want to come with you to see the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds and witness your power again." Emo knew the old monk meant this, so he didn't reject upon thinking. Hearing this, Du Shouying also said, "Brother Yi, I also want to go see. I've never been to the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds." Seeing this, Emo released Blue Moon. "In that case, let's go together." The rest of the temple monks went back to the sect. The Ice Sword sect was completely destroyed due to this disaster and needed to be rebuilt. He gave Blue Moon to Qian Wei to control. Even Blue Moon needed one day to get there, and he could use this time to recover. The Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds was the second most dangerous forbidden grounds in South Peace State. Up until now, no one dares to go in. You would be devoured by the Flame Sea no matter how powerful you were. Before, the Flame Sea was terrifying, but you would be fine if you didn't go in as the flame wouldn't flow out. But now, it had become the most terrifying place as the flames started to flow out. Luckily, it wasn't very fast now. However, because the flames were too powerful, almost all the places it leaked to turned to nothing. Nothing could survive under it. Tens of kilometers from the Forbidden Grounds, more than 10 Truth Realization State cultivators and tens of Disaster Transformation State looked helplessly as the flames gradually expanded. The hundreds of cultivators below Disaster Transformation State couldn't even get near. Other than Qian Wei, all the 9-star sect, 8-star sect and 7-star sect had elders of sect leaders here. Emo told them to stop the Forbidden Grounds for half a month, but it was only the 9th day and they couldn't hold on. All they could do now was at most slow the flames a little. The ones most useful here were Jiling and a few Formation Grand Master who came later. They used all materials necessary and set up defense formation after defense formation. This barely held them to the 9th day. If the flames seeped out quickly, it would turn the entire South Peace State into a flame sea within a few years. No one could even come close to here, not even Truth Realization State. The only thing they could do was set up defense formation and strengthen it with everyone's cultivation essence and spirit sense. But as the flames spread out, it was getting harder and harder to set up formation as the area was getting larger too. We can't guard here anymore, it's pointless to guard it. Even if City Lord Yi comes, there's nothing he can do with this. Abstruse Sound sect leader Jing Fengji looked at the ravaging flames and sighed. The cultivators fell silent, no one doubted his words. Even if they barely held out till Yi Mo came, it was pointless. Even Yi Mo wouldn't be able to stop such flames. I believe Yi Mo has a way, he told us to stop it for half a month. We still have the ability to do so. If we just leave like this, we're not only being irresponsible to City Lord Yi but also the entire South Peace State. Shan Bingfeng said. We have already lost 6 cauldron filling state and 2 disaster transformation state cultivators for this. If the flames break the formation again and we're still setting up new formation, more cultivators would die if we can't leave in time. God Wind Valley Mo Ming said heavily. Then, he said, I just got news that spirit-devouring bugs annihilated Ice Sword sect, the Jin Gang Temple sect leader and 2 truth realization state cultivators, for disaster transformation state cultivators were all gone. None escaped from there, and, Mo Ming looked around and continued. It said that the spirit-devouring bugs were endless, they filled the space within a 1,000-kilometer radius. After City Lord Yi helped Fusion Joy sect, he went missing in the hive of the Sand Soul Beasts. No one would be able to stop even the spirit-devouring bugs, much less the Flame Sea. Even if City Lord Yi didn't go missing, it would be the same result if he came. What? Mo Ming's words shocked all the cultivators here. The spirit-devouring bugs would be able to devour the entire South Peace State even if the Flame Sea didn't spill. What do we do now? One disaster transformation state sect leader asked. The only way is to leave South Peace State and retreat into the Heartless Sea, Mo Ming said heavily. Then what do we do with all the cultivators here? One truth realization state elder frowned. He meant not only the cultivators but also the countless mortal cities, sects, and cultivation cities. The population were in the 100 billions. Mo Ming said coldly, we can't care about that much, we don't have the ability to stop the calamity of South Peace State. If we can retreat then do it, if not we can only leave things to fate. I disagree. Shan Bingfeng got up. We can't settle all these cultivators in the Heartless Sea, but even if a small amount can live, what about the other people in South Peace State? We weren't born as cultivators, many of us came from ordinary mortals. Now that South Peace State is in danger, we should protect South Peace State and not run. Then what does Elder Shan think we should do? Jing Fengji asked calmly. Clearly, he agreed with Mo Ming. This calamity isn't something that could be stopped with human force. Staying at South Peace State was asking to die. Shan Bingfeng said certainly things aren't completely hopeless. We should continue to guard the Flame Sea and stop it from expanding. We need to wait at least till City Lord Yi comes and listen to his advice. Elder Shan has high morals, Mo Ming admires you. But my God Wind Valley has been passed down for tens of thousands of years, I can't let it end in my hands. Mo Ming don't have the resolve of Elder Shan, goodbye. Then, Mo Ming released his magic artifact. The God Wind Valley cultivators saw this and all released their magic artifact, disappearing. Heaven Demon Sect Shilwan Goddess was the strongest here, and seeing this, she saluted with her fists to Shan Bingfeng and gave her an apologetic look before leaving with her truth realization state elders. Le Yarrow, you seem to have something to say. Shilwan saw Le Yarrow open her mouth but not say anything. Le Yarrow said, Sect leader, I feel we should stay. I know City Lord Yi's power, he never. Shilwan stopped her. I know City Lord Yi, but Le Yarrow, do you think he can annihilate 1,000 kilometers of spirit-devouring bugs? Can he force back the flames here? If not, what's the point of staying here? We might as well go Heartless Sea early and find a place to settle. Le Yarrow was speechless. With 2 9-star sects leading, Abstruse Sound Sect, Heartless Valley, Heaven Herb Lake, and them all came to bid farewell to Shan Bingfeng. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories,